Good evening, everybody. Welcome in. Glad to have you guys with us here tonight as we're having a special, rare and unusual stream from the not parks.
Yes, you know that we pride ourselves on being in person. Even this past weekend, we were in person on location. But we wanted to catch up with you guys, and this was just the best place for it. So climate controlled, quiet, nice, strong cell or internet connection. So we just wanted to go ahead and do that. We had an awesome day today, though. Earlier today, so this is like a double live stream. We have already live streamed today.
So whatever we get here is just extra fun, and we don't normally get to hang out with you guys in an evening. So
yes.
So by the way, if this is your first time ever coming into an Ear to Ear Magic live stream, welcome to the stream. It's a little different format than what we've done normally, but this is a chance for us to go back and recap some of the things we did this past weekend as we were on our Royal Caribbean cruise.
Yes.
So normally we do a stream from the parks or some really cool events every Monday through Friday.
Yes.
And we would love
and we did do that today.
Yes, we did that earlier today. Matter of fact, if you missed it, go back and watch. You can always go back and watch any of our live streams on a replay and check out and see what happened in Epcot today.
Yes, definitely.
So, but if this is your first time ever watching this, we'd love to have you guys join us here in the Magic Crew. We have a great group of people who hang out with us on a regular basis as we enjoy the parks and do whatever it is we may be doing. So
I agree.
If you'd like to join the crew, it's easy. It doesn't cost anything. All we want you to do is hit the subscribe button, and you can join the crew that we have here today. So
yes, lovely group of people.
And just make sure if you do, jump into the chat and let us know how things are going.
Say hi.
And get to know somebody. Get to see who else is around and with us, and we'd love to have you join us. So
absolutely.
Matter of fact, at the time of our having this live stream right now, we're at 9,169 members of our Magic Crew.
So we only need 31 more. Am I doing the math right on that? 31 more members to reach our next goal, which is 9,200. So if you want to join those members, we would love to have you. It's a great group of people, and we enjoy spending time with all of them.
So let's kind of talk about real quick as we have let a few more people come into the chat tonight.
Yep.
See what you guys have as far as talk about what we did today. Again, we did go to Epcot.
We did. We went to Epcot. We had a lovely day. It was a really good mix, I think, of just Epcot Park and also a little bit of festival in there as well. So we got to ride Ratatouille, which we have not done in a long time. And I'm just going to say, 50-minute standby wait time posted. What was it, 35
minutes right at it.
35 minutes on the ride and moving. Like at 35 minutes, we were on the ride and moving away.
That's not bad for a brand new attraction. It just opened up last October.
It wasn't bad at all. And the crowds were pretty heavy in that area of the park, but that's normal whenever there's like something new and exciting like Ratatouille. You tend to have people flock to those areas. So it really wasn't, we were expecting a full 50-minute wait, honestly, based on just the crowds in the area, but it didn't take us long at all. And we were on the ride and we got to take you guys along with us. I always love when we could do that. And then we were done with that and just made our way around the World Showcase. So that was kind of fun. So
we got to go see Anna. We got to go see Anna and Elsa.
We got to see Anna and Elsa. We haven't seen them in a while either.
We got some strange boxes, mystery boxes, snapping and flashing lights at us.
Yes. So this was an interesting kind of tidbit. So we did get our photos taken, PhotoPass photos, Memory Maker photos, but they weren't taken by a person. They have like machines set up that just automatically every so often snap a photo, and we would know because a flash would hit. So flash would hit, and then we would know that the photo was being taken, and that happened periodically. Which, I mean, I'm happy to get photos that I'm not having to beg a cast member to take with my phone, because, I mean, that's really unrealistic expectation to expect them to be a photographer and have any sort of expectation on a stellar photo. That's unfair, honestly. So it was cool to have that. So we're eager to see what those look like.
Honestly, and actually, they haven't come in yet.
Yeah, they haven't come in.
I keep refreshing to see I was going to post them, but they haven't come in, which
is
strange because they already had them at the box.
I was going to say, at the box, it kind of showed them as you scan after, and there was one after Anna, and there was one after Elsa. So, so we'll see what those look like, and I'm sure that we'll post Chris will do a post.
So
and
just to
let
show you guys what the
know.
pictures look like with the boxes, with the automatic boxes.
Just so you have an idea.
Then we made it into the Mexico Pavilion and checked out the Cava de Tequila.
Yes.
Gotta change the Cava de Tequila. And strangely enough, pass holder pair, we did not get the avocado margarita, even though there was a strong.
Did not.
I actually thought we were going to, but then Susan brought up the fact that we couldn't do that. And
take it
Grand
on the
Fiesta.
ride. Like he was going to do it, and then he also mentioned we were going to ride Grand Fiesta, and I knew
We should do that. We
would
should
not,
just get margaritas and go ride a Grand Fiesta.
Pretty sure they're not going to let you in the line with the drink. Yeah.
When the walls are down.
I think that's really the chief reason for that cast member right there at the end of the line. That's the only reason, is that they're selling tequila right over here, and then the ride entrance is right over here, and they're just making sure that the two stay separate. So.
Oh, and by the way, Leanne, I looked to see if our favorite face painter was over there face painting. She wasn't working in Epcot today.
No, not today.
Not this
today.
afternoon.
Yep.
And a pass holder pair turned that into a party boat. That's a different type of cruise right there.
That is a different type of cruise for sure. I mean, I guess if you got a table in La Cava and sat down and drank your margarita first and then headed over, you could do that after, but we were trying to keep the stream moving. We know you guys like to go and do and see. So
it was funny. We actually got I got an Instagram message this afternoon that says, "I saw you yesterday in Animal Kingdom, but you were walking with a purpose."
With purpose, yeah.
And I was like, yeah, that tends to happen sometimes.
Yeah,
But I don't ever want that guy to distract you guys from walking over and saying hello. We
Yeah,
really
I
do
know.
want these streams to be your streams. And we love to talk to you guys while you're in the park. So
Yeah.
if I'm walking with purpose, just say, hey, purpose. Just
Hey,
come on.
Chris.
Well, come over and say hello.
And then the purpose
Happens
is to
all the
talk to
time.
you. Yeah, absolutely.
So, Travel Adventures are there and asked, do they not have any photographers at Disney anymore?
Oh,
No,
they
do.
definitely
They
do. They do. They're
Now,
all over the
this
place.
technology that they've used that we saw today at Unannounced was something that they actually introduced several years ago, and they were testing it out in certain locations, like with Mickey Mouse at the Magic Kingdom.
Yes.
So it's not something new. It's actually just something that they're kind of restarted and trying to see. So I think it's just that character meet and greets where they're not moving. They're in a very
They know they're in a very stable location,
Yes.
space. It's easier for them to do that. I think they are a little short-staffed still on photographers. When I was just out of curiosity, I love to keep up with all things Disney. So they have a job fair going on coming up in a couple of weeks. And so I just hopped on the link to that. It popped in my Facebook. I don't know why they would think I was interested in Disney jobs.
You could be a photographer.
But they were,
Welcome in, Rachel.
it popped up in my feed, so I just clicked the link and was looking at it. And one of the things that they are hiring for is PhotoPass photographers. So I think they're just short-staffed right now. But we see PhotoPass photographers all over the parks. I mean, in their same white shirt, tan shorts, the vest, the tan vest, or blue vest. Is it blue shorts, tan vest? I know I always recognize them when I see them because they always have the same outfit on. But we see them everywhere. It's just that when they first started reopening character meet and greets, there were not PhotoPass photographers with them. And I think that was mainly because you weren't getting up close to them. And so they were just encouraging those socially distant selfies type thing. Kind of just a step behind Universal, really, when it comes down to it. That's how Universal started back with theirs as well, before they also added in photographers. So hopefully eventually we'll be back to PhotoPass photographers at all meet and greets. But anyways,
We'll get there.
Yep.
But the day overall was fun. We got to have a little bit of food. We tried some things over at one of the kiosks, Flower and Garden.
For those that are just joining us, we're just kind of
about what we did
recapping
today.
our day just to allow everyone to come in. We have 52 and now 51. So we're just allowing some time for everyone to come in so that just so no one misses anything. We don't want anyone to miss something and then they have to go back and watch after, because that is definitely, we have a lot to cover tonight. So we're probably not going to go back. If we've already covered something, we're probably going to tell you, hey, make sure to watch, go back and watch. We definitely discuss that.
Step it back.
Yeah.
So tonight, the topic of what we're talking about tonight is the Royal Caribbean cruise we had this past weekend.
Yes.
You guys got to be a part of that. over on YouTube and Instagram, over on TikTok and Facebook, where we've posted pictures and videos of some of the things. But what we wanted to do is just take the opportunity to actually hang for a few minutes and tell you all the stories, give you some really, really nitty gritty details of what happened, give you guys the opportunity to ask questions, and see if there's anything we can do as far as opening up some points of discussion and what we did, what we liked, what we didn't like, what we want to do more of, what we can't wait for them to change, stuff like that. So the only thing that we ask is we are going to have a little bit of a line of discussion of where we're going to go. So if you do have a question, please be aware of the fact that we may say, hold off on that question. We'll get to that in just a moment because we're going to try to go through from A to Z in the cruise. So we'll just throw questions as much as you want to into the chat. Just be aware of the fact that if we want to really get into some details on a certain subject that you've breached, we might wait until we get to that point in the itinerary.
Yeah.
So welcome in, people. We got all kinds of people coming in here, all of our favorites, our crew here. We've got Jill is in this evening. Leanne's good to see you again. Hope Marina's doing fine. Travel Adventures with Aaron. Top Cat is here. Bespoke Magic. Jill is watching. Jill is, I think we had some. Is it me? It's something about you've either just recently had a cruise or getting ready to cruise again. I wasn't really sure. And Rachel is in this evening. And Hawk the Fam says, you did. I really did love that salad. I would have gotten a second one too. So Robert, good evening. Welcome in. And Debbie is in with us. And if you're watching and you haven't already jumped into the chat, let everybody know you're here.
Yep.
So
feel free to say hi to everyone.
All right, so let's kind of start off with the fact that, first of all, we did have a 3-night, 4-day cruise on the Freedom of the Seas.
Yes.
And it was an itinerary that included first day leaving out of the port of Miami.
Yes.
Second day, Coco Cay on Royal Caribbean's private island. Then Nassau in the Bahamas. And then we were back in port Miami Monday morning.
Yes.
So it's one of their shorter cruises. It gives you a good taste of things.
It was a little, just a little taste. Like we left wanting more, which I guess is a good thing. So.
And I think that happens for a lot of people. But if you've never been on a cruise before, why not start off with something just a little bit smaller?
Just to tell whether or not you're gonna like it. You know, it's not everyone's cup of tea. So, mind you, we've loved it. So, in all of our cruising experiences, and this weekend was not an exception. So. All of our cruising experience previously has been with Disney Cruise Lines, and I am not going to lie, they set the bar high. So we have been hesitant, honestly, to sail with anyone else since then.
And we've often joked about the idea. We joked about the idea.
Might be disappointed.
When you start off with Disney, it does leave some expectations. Some of the things they do are just top of the line kind of a scenario. So. So how is this going to go?
Yes, yes. Exactly.
But it's something we needed to do. We wanted to do. So we were glad we get to. It's something we needed to do. I'm glad we did it. Yeah. Passholder Pair says, Val and I have never cruised since we live in Southwest Florida. It's something we need to try out. I think it should be required if you are a Floridian.
I think so too.
It seems like it just goes
really
natural.
Wasn't bad. I mean, I was concerned. Because of Owen's injury, I think most of you guys know he sprained his wrist, and we were originally planning on driving down the night before and staying there so that we would be really close to the port, which is what we recommend. Do as we say, people, not as we do. But because of his injury, I just wanted to wait until the very last moment possible and make sure that everything was good before we left, since we were actually leaving the country. So we drove down early in the morning. I got Chris up way earlier than he likes. And we drove straight down, and it was not bad. It really was not. So.
Jill says, we're not going to plan another cruise until we don't have to test for COVID 48 hours in advance. We'd hate to get ready for a cruise and then have to stay home if I tested positive. So this is a good segue. Yeah. Let's go ahead and talk about the COVID testing.
Okay. So what Jill mentioned is true for pretty much every cruise line. They're requiring negative COVID test. And the reason for that, honestly, is the CDC has put in requirements or recommendations that if you follow them, they allow more liberal cruising. Like they are not so on you as a cruise line for every little thing that you do if you're doing that testing ahead of time. And the cruise lines are just desperately trying to stay in the water and sailing and able to have guests on their ships and make money, because they have lost literally, just Royal Cruise Line alone has lost billions of dollars while they were shut down, because they still had to maintain ships and minimum staff, and were not sailing, and just all the costs that comes with having a company that they were not then bringing in income to cover. So totally get that. But here is our experience with testing, and this is what we recommend for our clients. This is not exclusive to Royal Cruise Lines. Several different cruise lines do have a similar procedure, but they tell you what type of testing they require, and you could, if you wanted, go and do an in-person test, or like Bespoke Magic, you can do what we did,
exactly,
which was to order tests from Abbott. It is the vendor that Royal Caribbean has contracted with. We got our tests so very quickly once I ordered. They were originally ordered, honestly, for our January cruise, and we've been holding them until we cruised again. But literally, they came in days after I ordered them. We ordered 2 per each of us, and that was like $60 per person for 2 tests.
Like $30 per test.
2 tests, so $30 per test. It includes a proctoring service. So literally, when you're ready to take the test, and it's 24 hours a day, so if you wanted to take it at 2 o'clock in the morning, you could. But I mean, you want to keep it within the time frame that they allow. So we just took it in the afternoon. That was 48 hours before.
So explain the idea of proctoring, because when I first hear proctor, I think of other things medically that is not what actual proctoring
So
is.
proctoring, think a test that you have to take. Say, for example, your SAT, or MCAT, where they're like, there's someone there monitoring to make sure that you're not cheating and that the test is done correctly. So and that's what we did. And that's what we chose to do. It was super easy. Each of us did it. Literally, you just log on to an app that they have you download. When you're ready, you tell them, I'm ready to take a test. I waited, I figured, because it pops up with the message that says, someone will be with you in the next few minutes. And literally within 30 seconds, there was someone who, I never saw them, but I heard them. They started talking to me. They could see me. We used the camera on my phone and just set it up. I opened the box. I took the test. I was done with the test in like a minute and a half.
Yes.
And then
it literally is just taking a little thing and swabbing the inside of your nose.
Swabbing each nostril.
Stick it into the test box, which has to stay on screen the entire time.
And then it sits for 15 minutes. They set a timer on my phone and let me know that someone will be back. When the 15-minute alert comes, I just let them know that I am there and ready.
You don't even have to wait while they do the 15 minutes.
Yeah, you can get up and
as
do
long
whatever.
as the test is shown in the video, you can go off and do whatever.
Yeah.
So that was kind of nice.
Super easy. It was done quickly. I mean, it was just it was the least stressful testing.
And when the test didn't change colors the way it showed, it came back negative.
Yep, I already knew it was negative before we even got started. So it was super simple.
So they see it in the video, they show it that it shows negative, and then before I was even able to clean up the area that I did it at the table, I already had an email.
It was super simple, super easy, done. And then they send you an email with the results, which you can either print. You can print it. We are an anti-print kind of family. Like, if I can keep it electronic, I prefer that. The kids get their ADHD from me, and if it gets printed and it's a paper, I'm going to lose it. So I just kept it on my phone as an active link. We had Chris's. So that was the testing. Quick, easy, done.
We did have one question about that.
Yes.
I want to make sure that I get that. Somebody was asking, can you take the test looking like a tiger?
No, you cannot. Thank you so much, Stitch, for just asking us to clarify that. Chris did have a super fun day at Epcot that day that we were required to have testing, and I was so funny because I'm watching from home and I'm like monitoring chat for him, and I hear him say, okay guys, if we reach such and such goal, I'm gonna keep this on until tonight. And I'm like, because I knew he had to take his test.
She was not helping that. She was not helping that challenge.
I knew that it would have to come up regardless of whether he met the goal or not. So I was really hoping sadly enough that he did not make the goal, so he did not have to disappoint anyone because that tiger was coming
So
off.
I had to look like my driver's license in the proctoring
Yes,
session.
they do have you hold up the
have to hold
driver's
up the
license
license
and they compare it to
So
your
I had to
face,
wash my
make
face
sure
before I
everything
could do the
matches.
test.
Yeah, it is a requirement.
2 other questions we had real quick. Jill wants to know what happens if it comes back positive.
So every single cruise line right now that is requiring a test will refund your money if you come back positive. You just let them know. Honestly, they don't even ask for the requirements. They don't even ask to see the test. If you tell them that you tested positive for COVID, they do not want you on the boat. They cannot admit you. Even if you have, like, if we tested negative and then we came in, there is a health check that we'll talk about in a few minutes. If we answered one of those questions that red flagged us, that maybe we might have COVID, they would not let us on the boat until they gave us a more extensive medical screening. So they don't want you on the boat if you have COVID. They're trying very hard to continue sailing. So they are very generous with their cancellation policies in that regards.
So either a cancellation or future cruise credit could be in line.
Yes, exactly. So that is how they handle that. And then you should always consider an additional layer of protection anyways and get yourself travel protection. Positive COVID tests would be considered a medical reason not to sail and would be covered under the medical portion of travel protection. So being afraid of catching COVID is not, just for clarification. But if you actually did have
if you
COVID,
just like calling going, I don't want to go because
I've heard numbers are high. That is not covered as a medical reason, even if you have some medical reason that it's very important for you not to catch it. Being afraid of catching COVID is not a medical reason. But if you did catch it, it is a medical reason. And
if you got a really awesome travel agent who can take care of it for you,
they're gonna, yeah.
We'll make sure to take care of those details for you. The last thing you want to do is if you get a positive test, you're stressed out enough as it is, contact your travel agent. Let them jump in and speak on behalf of you and get things taken care of, or rescheduling or canceling, whatever needs to be done to make sure that happens.
Yes.
Another question, it's not really a question, but I'm going to put this out there because I think this is important. We did actually have somebody that we met on the ship who unfortunately did their test 6 hours too early.
Okay, so you need to take this into consideration. When they say 48 hours, it's not like 48 hours from the day of. So it means, okay, so for example, for us, we were sailing on Friday. So for us, the 48 hours was pretty much any time afternoon on Wednesday. That was our time frame. So Tuesday, even it was late on the day on Tuesday, that is beyond 48 hours. It's beyond 2 days. So just keep that in mind. She had to retake a test at the port at her expense, and it was not cheap.
So she had to get out a credit card and pay $105 for them to do
And it was $129.
Oh,
actually.
yeah, that's right, $129. Had to
was
pay
expensive.
$129 for an instant test.
Yes.
Because it wasn't within that 48-hour period.
Yeah.
So be very careful when it comes to
Yeah.
that. If you're unsure about it, just make sure to ask questions. But they want to see it within 48 hours, and
Yep.
she actually ended up having it by, they checked, and it was 54 hours.
Yes.
So she missed it by 6 hours.
Yes. We, but that experience was really quick and easy for us. I just can't imagine recommending for a client any other method of taking a test.
Yeah,
now.
that hurt.
Yeah.
That hurt.
Yeah. It was painful just to hear her retell the story. I'm like, oh, that's
But
unfortunate.
the process was really easy just for that.
It was super easy, guys. So easy, so simple. Literally between the two of us, not counting the 15 minutes we had to wait, for the test results to come out. Maybe we spent 10 minutes total.
Yeah,
between the two of us.
And like I said, you don't have to be at the table during the 15 minutes while you're waiting for that thing to process.
And you do it whenever you're ready, as opposed to having to make an appointment somewhere and get to that appointment on time and probably wait, because you know how doctors' offices are. They always run behind schedule.
You don't want to do any of that.
Yeah, no, you don't have
you
to
dial
do
into
that.
you dial into the program. They give you a proctor. You do the test. It comes back 15 minutes later. You get your email. You're done. So.
See, Bespoke Magic. Bespoke Magic is not a U.S. citizen, but she was able to buy the test and have it delivered to her hotel. in Orlando and take the test there. So just something to keep in mind for our international followers. That is really good to know. Thank
idea.
you for sharing that. Bespoke Magic. That's
All
good
right.
information to have.
So we got our negative COVID test. We're good.
Yes.
We got that taken care of.
Yes.
Pre-check as far as other things that you've done. What did you do to make sure everything was in for the
So the
cruise?
day before, 2 days before you take your COVID test, 24 hours before you can start doing your medical check. And at that point, they just want to check and see if you might have symptoms of COVID. So they go through all of the many possible symptoms of COVID, including nausea, vomiting, diarrhea, sore throat, cough, fever of a certain temperature. They go through all of those, and we did not have any of those. So no. And then we were done. And they approved us to board the ship. Like, it happened pretty quickly. So every time you upload, like, they're going to want to see your vaccination card. You preload your vaccination card onto their app. Their app makes things really easy. Guys loved using their app before boarding our cruise and while we were on the cruise. So you upload your vaccine card, you upload the ID that you were going to use. You upload your negative test results, you do the medical screening, and then that's all you have to do until it's time to check in. You do get to pick a check-in time, and I picked the earliest available one, which at that point when I decided, at the point I decided to do that was 11:30. And how long would you say it was from 11:30 to when we boarded the ship?
So this was what I was really concerned about, because we've been on another cruise line where we had to come into the terminal, set our bags down, and
wait. We got to
until
meet.
They had characters, so we could go up and meet characters, but we had to wait for our names to be called.
Yes.
But we sat in this terminal filled with people, all sitting around at the edges on couches and benches and everything. And it was a long time.
Yeah, it was. I hated it. It was really, I don't know. I didn't enjoy it at all.
We showed up at the terminal. We actually sat in our car for a few minutes because our time to arrive was 11:30. And we got there right about 11 o'clock. So we sat in our car for a few minutes. Susan took care of a few things. I took care of a few things. And then we grabbed their bags. And we walked down, got off the elevator. Boom, there was a place to drop your bag. So we walked over. There was a gentleman there who was just available. He had a thing of tags, a pen, and he welcomed us. And we had 2 bags.
We did not pre-print out.
We did not do the pre-print, yes.
Now, mind you, we only had 1 bag between each of us that we were checking in. And this is normal procedure for pretty much any cruise line. So if you've never cruised before, they will, if you are comfortable with it, they will take possession of your bags, put a luggage lock on them if you need to. And label them with your room number. You already know what cruise cabin you're going into. So
you can pull it off of your app.
I pulled it up on my app and showed him, and he added it to the little labels that they slipped onto the handle, and boom, they were done. So the porter took them. They were gone. We didn't have to carry those around anymore. J-Wild, it was so easy. The process was shockingly easy from the moment we were working with the app days before all the way onto the boat, and we'll get to that. But we dropped our bags. That literally took us less than a minute. Even with me having to search, like, oh snap, I need my cabin number. Crap, I can't remember which one it is. So I'm like, pulling it all up. And
he walked up. He took our cabin number. We apologized for not having it available there, and he goes, "No problem, no worry, just go ahead." Got it to him. He took our bags, put some tags on it, and we were done. So we walked over to the terminal.
Yes, and we tipped him. Tip your porters.
Yes, we did tip the porter.
Tip the porter. And then we got in line to go inside the terminal, and even that waiting in line, like 2 minutes, maybe 2 minutes in line. And the line was long, so I thought, oh, here we go. Here comes the waiting. Here's where we're going to be waiting. This is where it starts. And we got in line, and within 2 minutes, we were inside the gorgeous terminal that they have in Miami.
Where the big line was going to be, right? Now the big line is going to get started.
Yeah, and so we thought, okay, here we go. Here, the line will be at the top of this escalator. We go in. And they wave us down. There's like probably 30 different people that are checking everyone in with their little iPad. It was like super.
And it wasn't behind desk. It was just open space
just
with a little velvet rope
right
kind of things,
there,
the elastic ropes. We immediately got sent over to a guy. He's like, all right, let me see what your information. He's asked to see our IDs.
Yep.
He asked us if we had any fevers,
He went back through the questions really quickly, verified our IDs that matched, and we were the people. And then he was, literally, I'm waiting for something. There's got to be some additional
where's
something.
The hat going to drop?
And he's like, okay, you're good to go. And he waves behind him like, okay, go on.
What?
Head on.
We're
and I'm like,
go?
wait, we're done already? And so
I thought maybe that was just like a pre-screening, like he was just checking to make sure we could get
and then we
inside
would
the
go
terminal.
somewhere
then
else.
Then we'd get the big line.
And then we would wait. We keep waiting for the wait. We're waiting for the wait.
Thing. No, we get to the escalator. We get to the top of the escalator, and there's security. And
well, before that, we go straight from the screen over to. They have the X-ray machines,
and
we do
right there afterwards.
Yeah, we drop our bags
was
in.
Hilarious.
Chris took forever. Like
I had a lot of stuff.
I had a lot of pockets to unload, and they did say to empty all of your pockets. And so it's funny because I went straight through, and then the two security officers that were on the other side, two women, they're joking with me, and they're like, "What has he got back there? Like, why is he taking so long?" And I was like, oh, pockets. He has lots of pockets. And they're laughing.
She makes fun of me for having pockets, yet all the time she walks around going, I wish they put pockets in women's clothing. And I'm like, yeah, well, if you do,
pockets in
when you get pockets, guess what? Stuff goes in them. So I know I like my hat too. I did actually finally get myself a new hat. So we went through the pre-screening. We went through security. Nobody was in front of us and nobody was behind us.
Yes.
I'm still confused.
We're still waiting for the wait.
Where's the big thing going to happen?
Where's the wait?
We go up the escalator, but while we're waiting to go up I actually ran into the restroom real quick just because we've been driving for 3 hours. When I came back out, I heard over the intercom that they have a virtual muster. Now, muster is their safety. That's their safety.
For those that have never cruised before.
If you've never cruised before, a muster drill or a muster call
is required. It's not something that they're just trying to be mean.
Think of a tornado drill or a fire drill when you were in school.
Yes.
A muster is something you have to be prepared for to know what happens in the event of something happening to the ship. Now, on other cruise lines, when you've had to do your muster at the beginning, before you can actually set sail,
you have to go find a space. You have to wait for everyone that's assigned to your muster location to get there. It's required. They cannot disembark. They cannot embark. They cannot leave the cruise port until they have guaranteed that everyone has done this drill. It is required.
Now, I remember the very first time we cruised. The very first time we cruised, everybody was on the ship, and they make everybody go to the muster drill at the beginning, and it says everybody's on the deck at the same time, and it's this whole half an hour scenario.
Crowded, and everyone's cranky and
people
irritated.
like me are getting in trouble because apparently you cannot be silly.
No joking in the muster.
And you can't make jokes at the muster drill.
No, it's a serious
I got
thing.
in trouble and was sent to detention.
Yep.
They were not happy with me at muster, and it's like joking around with a judge in a courtroom. I was like, so I'm expecting this half an hour muster we're going to have to do. It's sort of like, I hate to do it.
I had already mentioned to him that on the app it said that you could do it virtually, and we had heard from someone that you could actually start it before you got on the ship. So he's like, so while he's waiting for me, because girls take longer in the bathroom, he's already pulled it up on his phone and he started it, and we are done with the virtual portion of the muster. They have you watch a video, answer a few questions, and so the virtual portion was done before we stepped onto the ship. Like, it was done. Like, we're riding the escalator up, and he's like, okay, are we good?
I'm going through and I'm doing the virtual muster as we're on the escalator.
And he's like, okay, we're good. He's like, I'm checking you too. Because I was like, oh, snap, now I'm going to have to pull it. He's like, no, I got you. You're good. And so the only thing that was left to do was to visit our muster location, and then we would be done.
We'll get to in just a second.
Yes.
But before we even boarded the ship, we had already done the vast majority of the muster.
99.9% of it.
We go up the escalator. It's now, I don't know.
We're still waiting for the wait. Where's the wait?
It's now maybe 11:45 at most.
Yes.
We got in at 11:30. and it's not really that long. Mind you, there's even a bathroom break in there. We're just
Yes.
taking our time there. We get up to the top, and I'm like, this is where the real stuff's going to happen. This is where it's going to get nasty.
Yes.
And what happened? They checked our CPass, the virtual on the app.
Yep.
They scanned it one more time, and then we
Yep.
walked past them. And I'm looking at Susan. I'm going.
He's like, are we
I'm confused.
getting on the ship now? I was
Yes.
like, I think we are. I think
We're getting on the
we're
ship.
getting on the ship now. This
was-
is 10 minutes. 10 minutes since we walked from the car and we're getting on the ship. This is how fast all of this happened. Super, super, super fast. Like, we were just blown away with the speed. Now, maybe first thing in the morning, lines were longer as everyone was trying to slip in before their time. I don't know. But it took us no time. And then we were literally on that gangplank on our way up to deck 4 to get on the ship. I mean, it was the easiest thing I have ever
I thought I had done something
seen.
wrong. I thought we
Yeah.
were going to get on the ship and like, what are you doing on here? You didn't do this, 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 and this.
It was
Keep in mind that our previous cruise, we spent maybe 3 hours in the terminal before we even got
Before
on.
we got on.
Jumping through hoops, waiting, jumping through another hoop, sitting.
Here's
and
another line to sit
There's
in.
another one to deal with. We walked in at 11:30, and here it is less than 20 minutes later, and we are on the gangway
Yep.
up onto the ship.
So luckily for us, now they do have muster locations spread throughout the ship because obviously
We got
there
really
are a
lucky.
lot of people. We were very lucky that
We were
our muster
B11.
location was we walked in and B10 was literally
Right.
on the wall right in front of us.
Hey,
And
we're like right over here.
I'm like, okay, the numbers go up. Oh, hey, it's right
There's
there.
our muster station.
So literally, we walked like 10 yards down the deck, and checked in with. They had several lovely cast members there, and they just pulled us aside, just the two of us, and they're like, okay, we just need to go over a couple of things. And basically, it was like, do you know how to put on a life jacket? I was like, yes. Do you know where the life jackets are? I was like, they're in our room. He's like, okay. And you know where to come? I was like, right here. He's like, yes, you're good. Have a great cruise. And he like clicked off like on his, like he had to scan our CPass off our phone, and then he was done. We were done, and we were free to move about the ship freely. So that was super fun.
So Kira is talking about the fact that they are so organized. It's incredible.
Very organized.
So
very, very organized.
we thought that it was a great experience. It confused us because it was so much better than our previous experience.
It was very positive start. Like we had kind of psyched ourselves up for, we're going to have fun when we get on the ship, but it's going to take some work. And we
pulling teeth
assumed
to get there.
it would be more work post-COVID, that it would be even more challenging and just such a hard thing to do. And it really wasn't. It took no time at all. No time at all. And we were on that ship. And it was amazing. I don't know what else to say other than I was just blown away with how smooth everything went and how quick. And I will say we did have this was a work cruise, as we mentioned, and there were quite a few agents from Travelmation on there. One of the agents that we are friends with did have one of those questions I was talking about, those kind of like red flag questions that he had marked. And so it took him a little longer to get on the ship because they took him down into a medical facility and they did some additional testing. But then once, even that was fairly quick. I want to say he said like 40 minutes, and then he was on the ship even with that. So
normally I might be able to play this kind of stuff in the actual video, but I wanted to show you guys that we're not making this stuff up. This was actually us on the ship when we got on there. So if I can pull it up real quick.
That was simple, crazy, quick, and easy.
they have a video muster system, so you don't have to wait for your whole group to get there. We did ours ourselves, and then we quickly checked in at our muster location, and that's done too.
So we're done with our muster test as well. I think it's time for lunch. Let's go. Our first cruise food. What are we gonna have? What are we gonna have? What are we gonna have?
And so that's exactly what we did. The rooms are not ready yet. The staterooms aren't open.
Yes, they say 1:30 is when it will be ready, and we'll get to that in a few minutes. They do a very quick rotation. Like they come into port, they clean and disinfect all the rooms and all the common areas, and then and then they're loading people back on. And they start with the common areas and then are working into the rooms as well. And sometimes it's 1:30 before they're ready, which I think is very reasonable for they're letting people off at 8. I mean, to turn thousands of rooms, cabins that quickly, I think honestly is impressive, especially in a post-COVID world, because they do disinfect everything and clean it.
So Paso Repair is a good question. When you first get on the ship, are the bars and other stuff open right away? Can you hit them up after you check in?
So some of the bars are open and some of them are not. So the ones on the interior, for the most part, are not open. But that is not a first day thing so much as they're open in the evenings.
Well, here's the thing. Keep in mind at this point, we don't even have our seat passes just yet.
Yes, because those are given to you. They're literally right at your door, so to your room. So we didn't have our seat passes yet, but the pool deck bars were open. The lime and the coconut. It has like 2 floors. It was open, but we were focused on food. So we went immediately to the food that was available to us. There were actually 2 options available to us at this point. One of them was Sorrento's, which is the pizza place that is on the promenade.
Which she eventually became very familiar with.
Yes, which we will talk about more a little later. And then Windjammers, which is their buffet. And you're gonna have a buffet on pretty much every single cruise ship has one.
It's the lifeline of every cruise ship.
It is, and they were already open. They were already ready to serve guests, and so we went there straight away. And we actually recommend that. Especially if you're getting on the ship kind of early, knock out your food and get it done, and then you're free to have fun on the ship, and you don't have to worry about heavy crowds in the buffet area. So we went immediately to do that. They had a ton of options for food, so many options for food. They had a off the grill where they had burgers and hot dogs, and also an assortment of meats that they were grilling: fish, chicken, pork, chops as well.
Tiki masala.
And then they had an international
butter chicken
section, which rotated through a couple of different types of cuisine. That day they had Indian food, and the butter
all
chicken.
kinds of things I didn't recognize.
Yes.
And for dessert, bread pudding.
He did, which he did not eat.
Which is funny because we had bread pudding on Wednesday at Epcot. We had bread pudding at Caribbean Beach on Thursday.
Yes, all the bread pudding.
I was like, man, what is it with the bread pudding? But I didn't actually see it till we were done eating. So I was walking around going, oh man, I could have had a trifecta.
Dad, we have always heard really good things, and we are.
Welcome in, Vicky. Good to see you.
We are the Travelmation Travel Agency is kind of a close partner with Royal Caribbean for that reason. It's one of the ones that we promote. So, yes, it was really good, Jay Wild. It was really good. I was able to have the butter chicken. So for me, being gluten-free and not knowing what on the buffet was safe and what was not, I caught a crew member and I was like, hey, this is what I need. And they're like, hold on, let me grab a chef. Grabbed a chef for me. He gave me a tour of everything that was available. And then there are certain things that obviously they're not going to cook in a common area for my safety. So he's like, we can do a hamburger, we can do a hot dog. So I decided on a hot dog because honestly, I'm much more likely to be able to have a burger with a gluten-free bun just day to day than a hot dog. That's kind of unusual. They had gluten-free buns for the hot dogs as well. So he went to the back to take care of that for me personally and make some french fries for me. And then I went through and grabbed some of the things that he told me were safe. Now, if you're highly sensitive, obviously you might want them to prepare in the back for you so there's no chance of cross-contamination. But they had salads, they had fruit, they had all kinds of desserts, and they had a really good selection of drinks. And that, let's talk about that. What is included?
So we did have a question earlier, and I said we'd get to this. What's included in the cost?
Just the basic cost.
Yes, real basic kind of stuff, real quick. And what is going to be a sticker shock was the exact question and answer. What's a sticker shock when you get on the cruise?
So as far as food goes, Windjammers, anytime it's open, the buffet, you're welcome to dine there. Sorrento's on our particular cruise ship, Sorrento's was included and free. Anytime we wanted to, it was open, we could dine there. The main dining room, and you will be assigned to a table when you're booked, especially if we're booking for you, if you're booking for yourself. It'll ask you your preference.
You want to go early or late?
Yeah, so early or late you choose, or my time is an option. I don't recommend my time. If there's an available option, I, as your travel agent, I'm going to recommend that you choose a time personally. That's just, you're concreted a reservation at that point. And then they're going to ask you your preference for seating. Like, do you want to sit at a table for two? Are you okay sitting with a large number of people? Maybe you want to make friends on the cruise. I can't hear. It's never guaranteed. It's kind of like a room preference. But say if you're traveling on your honeymoon, they're going to try to keep you at a table for two as opposed to putting you at a table with like 10 other people that you don't know. So those are included, and so all the food and pretty much
So
at all of those locations.
Buffet, special little beef spots like the pizza place, depending on which cruise ship you're on.
Yeah, the tacos, tacos on
And
the
then they
lighter
have
deck.
the ice cream machine that's up on the pool deck.
Yes,
included.
is also included.
And then of course your meals,
In
the
main
basic
dining,
meals.
and it's not. I mean, it's very much for those of you that are familiar with Disney and say they're all you care to eat options for dining. It is very much like that. So the buffet, obviously, all you care to eat. You just eat until you
The main
don't want
dining
to eat
room,
anymore.
I couldn't choose between two appetizers one night, so I
They
ordered
brought
both of them.
Yeah, they brought both. And that option is always. I got double desserts one time because they had difficulty with my dessert on one night, and that was what I really, really wanted. And they're like, "We're going to make this up to you tomorrow. We will give you this dessert,
Dos soufflés.
and you can have the pavlova as well." So.
Now there are options in the main dining room for dinner that when you open up the menu, they will say this is the enhanced.
It's premium. But there are things like, oh, I'm going to have the lobster tail, or I'm going to have this steak from Chops, which is one of their premium
and they tell you on the
restaurants.
menu it's plus whatever this
Yeah,
cost
and they'll
is.
tell you what the additional charge is. But if you don't want to do that, I mean, they have lots of very nice options.
5 to 6 selections for appetizers,
Mm-hmm.
5 to 6 entrees, and about 4 to 5 different desserts.
Yes, and they're all really good options.
And that's all included.
I had prime rib one time. I had strip steak the next night. I
I
mean,
had
it's
seafood. I had the seafood Alfredo.
Yeah.
I had the steak one night. And there are options as far as the Giovanni's, which is a
Mm-hmm.
upgraded Italian restaurant you can make reservations for. You do have to have reservations for that. And it is an a la carte. You're going to have to pay for those. There is.
let's finish talking about what's included first, though, because
But I'm just saying, there's 3 other restaurants in
Yes.
which there was an upgraded cost if you
Yes.
want to do something fancier or
Yes.
something like that, as Chops or as Zumi. But you could just walk into the dining room.
Yes,
And
exactly.
you're not
and
really
that's
paying
not
anything.
you're not paying any
Now,
extra
if
for
you
that.
don't have a drink package, if you wanted to add a drink or wine or something like that,
You're going to pay additional for
cost.
that. So the drinks that are included in any of these dining options are tea, like iced tea, hot tea, coffee, lemonade. They have what they call flavored water. Okay, so like you're probably thinking, oh, what is that? So things like Crystal Light or is what it reminded me of. They normally have 3 to 5 flavors depending on where you are that are available. I really like the mango, but Chris liked this kiwi strawberry. And those are included as well. There's no additional charge for that. Also, in the morning for breakfast, juices are included, orange or apple. And then at any meal, hot chocolate is also an option. If Liberty had been with us, she probably would have had hot chocolate at every single meal. It is an option for your drinks, and it is no additional charge. So, and they're willing to be flexible. Like the first night, I didn't want soda, and we'll get to that in a minute as far as soda and what the charge is for that. So I asked them if they could bring me half iced tea and half lemonade, and they didn't even blink. They're like, sure, no problem. So I essentially got an Arnold Palmer. It was delicious. It was really good. And so that's an option as well. If you need to mix things up a little bit, they can definitely do that for you. So things that do cost extra. So they, as Chris mentioned, they have 3 additional restaurants that are a premium upcharge if you don't have a dining package that you've already purchased. Giovanni's that he mentioned, that is like a I don't want to say upscale because the food itself is kind of rustic Italian, but I mean it's very well done. We did not dine there this weekend just because, honestly, because we were so busy.
It was only a 3-night cruise. Yeah. One of the nights we were not going to be in the dining room, so we only had 2 nights to really check out the dining room.
And we wanted to give that a full review. But that one's a really good one. Chops, which is their steakhouse, a premium upcharge. And then Izumi that Chris already mentioned. It's half hibachi, half sushi. So
we'll be trying that next time.
Yes, definitely, for sure. And the sushi honestly was very reasonably priced. We were shocked.
It's like $13 to $16 for a roll.
Yes.
You paid
and the
more
hibachi, honestly was the same pricing that we would be used to here on land as well. Like we were preparing ourselves for kind of
exorbitant, like $30
like theme park pricing, and that is not the case at all. Pricing was very reasonable.
I was kind of shocked.
Pricing was very reasonable for that. In addition to that, they have packages that you can pre-purchase that include different assortments of drinks. Exactly, Jay Wild. It really is not bad at all. And we considered doing not that full package that includes alcohol because, dear Lord, neither one of us could drink enough alcohol to make that worth the cost. But we were considering
I don't think I could drink $80 worth of
that.
alcohol in a day to make sure that I felt like I got the money's worth out of it, especially when we were working so hard. Yes. You would not want to see the Instagram reels and photos that came out of this brain if it was drinking $80 worth of alcohol at a time.
So they have 3 different drink packages. It includes everything. And that would include adult beverages from any of the bars. That would include smoothies or shakes, including shakes from Johnny Rockets. That's the other restaurant. I knew there was one more. 4 restaurants you pay extra. They have a Johnny Rockets.
I forgot about Johnny Rockets.
Yeah.
Funny, this
so
is the one we ate at.
It includes shakes there, even if you're not using a full dining plan. It includes shakes. It also includes specialty coffees or beverages from the coffee shop that they have on the boat. On this particular boat, they do not have a Starbucks, but the larger ones, Oasis of the Seas, the really big ones, they do actually have a Starbucks. It does not include those, but they do have a specialty coffee shop on those as well, and it does include any of those specialty coffees. So if you wanted an espresso.
That would have been nice.
Yeah. So, anyways. So it includes all of that. And then the step down from that is the one that we got just because I realized that honestly we were going to be so busy. And if we were choosing a drink for caffeine purposes, probably 99% of the time we would be getting soda. We got the soda package, and that's the only one. It was very reasonably priced. It happened to be on sale when we got it, but it was $8.99 per person per day.
Now, when I go to Universal, how much do I spend to have my Freestyle Coke?
$10 per day.
Yeah.
So it was not a...
No different than if I was going to Universal, which I still find to be a great deal when it comes to me being able to refill my drink anytime I want to.
Yes. See, Bespoke Magic, that was our thought as well. Now, for some people, it's worth the convenience.
Oh, yes. And some people are there to do that.
And the pleasure of being able to order whatever you want, whenever you want, without thinking about it. Travel Adventures with Aaron. I love milkshakes too.
Specialty drinks, if you want to do that, that works. That's a great vacation.
So if you get the soda package or any of the ups from that, honestly, all of them include this. But you get this lovely, it's been my favorite drink mug since then. So it's sealed at the top. You can see it seals shut.
And when they gave it to us, it was actually also sealed.
And it's got a little chip in the bottom, just like, sorry, let me go. There's a chip in the bottom, just like the drinks.
And there's a dill at the top.
No.
Oh.
No. Ha. So you just set it to the freestyle machine, just like you do at Universal. Yeah. You just set it down, make your choice. Unlike Universal, there is not a 9-minute wait. Like if I want to use it,
Keep them coming.
chug it, and immediately get another one because I was really thirsty because I was on Cocoa K and I got really hot and sweaty. No worries. It's easy. It's available. They have them on the promenade outside Sereno's on our particular ship, and then they had them up in the buffet as well.
Now, I really wish that they had them more
On the
available.
pool deck
They
would be
really need one on the
nice.
pool deck. I don't know if it was just Freedom
Royal
of the Seas,
Caribbean.
but we'll ask that to Royal
Yeah.
Caribbean if you guys are watching. There are other cruise lines. We won't mention their names that actually have
them ready,
have them right there
readily
by the pool
available
deck.
there.
You're in the
yes.
pool, you know, I want to get a drink.
You just know where to get them. They're not
Right.
inside a restaurant. They're so kind of if you're in between, you have another option. But regardless, that was really quick and easy. We would take it with us to Windjammers. They had
It's per day. These are
yes.
when you do the drink packages. Every price that you see is per day.
per person per day. So
Yeah. It's for the, you cannot buy it for one day either. You have to
No,
do it for
it's
the
an
length
all
of
or
the
nothing.
cruise.
It's all
so
or
if you're in a
nothing.
4-day cruise, you will have to do it for 4 days. So yes, we did pay $40
yes.
for us to have the privilege of having drinks, each of us, for the entire cruise.
In my opinion, it was totally worth it. Chris and I don't drink coffee. Like, if we were coffee people, maybe we would have been fine. Like, oh, we'll just get our caffeineless coffee, just basic coffee. We'll grab it from Windjammers and we'll be good. Do they have a dairy-free option for... I'm not sure what for. I mean, if you have any sort of special dietary requirement, you let them know, or if we're booking for you, we let them know ahead of time. They have it noted on your file. They had it noted on mine. And then
They'll have options
they'll
for
have
dairy-free.
options for you.
Now,
and-
as far as like the ice cream machine and stuff like that, not really, no.
No. But I mean, I will say, when they had sorbet as a dessert option, and I would imagine there was probably at least one or two at Ben and Jerry's. That was they have a Ben and Jerry's on the ship on the promenade, and it was
I was shocked.
so reasonably priced. So if we went $250 for a cup of ice cream.
$2.50
Now, it
for
wasn't
it.
a huge cup of ice cream, but that wouldn't have mattered if we had gone to a Ben and Jerry's store on land. We definitely would have paid more than that. So we were honestly
$4
surprised.
$4 for like a waffle cone.
Yep, and $4.50 for a shake.
$4.50 for a shake. Now you
Yeah.
may go, well, that's a little expensive shake. You know how much we have to pay for shakes here at Disney?
Yeah. Oh yeah.
And most of them aren't even real ice cream. They're just soft serve. And this is Ben and
Yeah.
Jerry's, and I'm
Yeah.
on a ship. I can't go anywhere. I am a captive audience, and I'm also still only paying $2 for a scoop of ice cream. That is extremely reasonable.
Yes. And I will say, I mean, if I'm going to be totally honest, I was prepared for theme park pricing throughout. They have me captured. They are the sole. There's no competition. They could
Royal
frankly
Caribbean, we
charge
keep using the
whatever
phrase
they
captured.
want.
We did volunteer to be on this ship.
I mean,
So-
it's not like I have other options. So we kind of expected it to be like a theme park and be expensive, and it wasn't. Even like, say, for example, the lanyards that we had for because we bought some for our Sea Pass, because that is your door key, and also you're on off the boat. And then Chris's hat was $20, guys.
$20.
And it is a nice hat. Like, the embroidery is really well done.
This is my Sea Pass.
Yep, there
to
was
carry
a
it on
Sea
there.
Pass.
And notice on the Sea Pass, it actually will tell you
It
not
says
only
what
what your
beverage
muster is,
package.
but they'll tell you what your beverage package right there.
And what dining group you're in,
Soda.
what your room.
I got the soda
Yeah.
package.
So, yeah.
And they'll ask you sometimes whenever you dine at certain places, they'll want to see your Sea Pass, so they'll know exactly what beverages are included already.
So when we did main dining, we would just be like, hey, can I have a Diet Coke with lemon? We didn't pay any extra for that. It was included in our soda package regardless. I mean, we weren't using our Freestyle cup, but so we had bought the soda package, so that was included. And
I want to highlight this comment right here, and this is a very important comment. So
Yes.
Bespoke Magic, I'm glad you put this on here. If you got the drink package that includes all the alcohol, now the alcohol still has a limitation on it. I think it's you can get any drink you want to. It's like $16 as long as it's not above a certain amount.
Yeah, so certain premium beverages would bump it up, and you'd have to pay the difference.
You're not ordering some gin, some 50-year gin or something like that. It's not that kind of situation. You still have limitations on how expensive a drink it can be, but
Yeah.
will be included.
Yes.
But to hit that $80 or whatever it may be for your cruise for that day, if you can't do that, listen, the Bespoke Manager says I have a glass of wine and each of the 4 dinners, and at the end I paid $48 for that wine.
That's not bad.
So think about that. If you think that you're going to be,
If you only have a glass of wine with dinner and you don't ever have mixed drinks,
Just pay
and you
for
don't do
the
the fun
drinks.
fruity things or the Cosmos or the, if you're not going to get a mule at some point.
so we did actually get, and we'll talk about it a little bit when we get to Coco Cay. We did actually have an alcoholic drink just to
We
say
did.
we wanted to try it. We wanted to get that island flair and sit back and go.
Yep.
And we actually did it. I'd like to say a shout out and thank you again to Amy H, who last week said a island drink is on me.
Yep.
So they gave a PayPal just for that effect.
Yes.
And so we did get one on Coco Cay, and it was I think we paid $32. So no.
Okay, Here for a Moment has a funny question. How many slices of pizza?
Now, how many slices of pizza are included?
Yeah, I'm
Or
not
did you
sure.
get?
Or did I get? So should we move on to pizza?
Sure.
Okay, so I love gluten-free pizza, and a lot of times it's hard for me to get, or there's limitations on it. So while I was getting, I honestly expected that I was not going to get any. That was my expectation. I kind of always set my bar a little bit low, so I'm not disappointed. So while I was getting my tour of Windjammer, the chef was like, so you can also get gluten-free pizza anytime they're open down at Sorrento's, down on the promenade. I'm like, wait, what?
That,
like, yes.
that changed the game for her the very first day.
He's like, oh yeah, just anytime they're open, you just walk in, let them know that you would like a gluten-free pizza, let them know what toppings you would like. They'll make it custom just for you, so it doesn't even have to be what they have on the menu that day. You just let them know what you want, and they will fix it for you. And I was so excited. I was just so excited because Sorrento's is included. It is an included thing. Now, if you're not doing that, literally you could walk in anytime they're open and they give you pizza by the slice from whatever they have.
And here for a moment,
made.
you can ask them however many. They ask you, how many slices would you like?
Yes. Now, during really busy times, if you want, like, say, half a pizza or it's pretty much the whole pizza you're asking for, they're going to say, we're putting in a custom order for you. Please step over here. We'll get that right in the oven. Because they have, like, 20 people in line behind you and they only have so many pizzas already ready. But, it was super quick. 15 minutes. They had my pizza ready every single time. It was done safely.
This was every single night, guys. Every single night, no matter what we did, we stopped by Sorrento's and she ordered her entire gluten-free pizza.
Well, I ordered gluten-free pizza, and they would give me the
whole
entire pizza. And even the first night, I was like, "Oh, I don't need the whole thing. I just a few slices." I was like, "This is just a snack before bed," because we had literally eaten in the main dining, and then we went back up to Windjammer's because we wanted to see what it was like for dinner, and we grabbed a little bite to eat. And then now it's like 10 o'clock at night, and I just want to try out the pizza. And hashtag BedSnack. My friend Lindley Stafford started that. She's a fellow agent. Just having snacks at bedtime. And this definitely became my bedtime snack. So it was my bed snack. And every single time I would stop and get it. And it wasn't like I didn't have the regular pizza. Chris will have to speak to how good it was.
I would grab I didn't have a huge hankering for pizza,
Yeah.
but we were already there. We're in line, so I would get a slice or two.
They would have like the basic stuff you're used to. They would have a
pepperoni,
cheese, a veggie,
something that
and
changed
then
every day.
some specialty pizza that changed every day. So the first night it was what I think we called it like the American special. It was
That was
fun.
the
It had
second
a
night.
funny.
No, the
No,
second
it
night
was
was
the
American.
first night.
Was it?
First night. Yes, because that was the night I was like, oh, well, maybe they don't have hugely special like that. And I was cool with that. That's what I got the first night, and it was essentially like a deluxe pizza, meats and all the veggies. It had like sausage and pepperoni, and then all the vegetables, mushroom, peppers, onions, all of that on there. So, and that rotated. So like the first night it was the American. The next night it was barbecue chicken, I think. And every night I would just get whatever that specialty one was. I could have given them whatever toppings I wanted, but it was just fun, the idea. So like every night I would be like, can I get that and it'll be gluten-free. And normally it'd be like, hang on just a second, let me double check. And they would walk back and check with the chef, and they would come back and be like, yep, it's gluten-free with the crust. And I'm like, that's what I want. And 15 minutes later, they're handing me on, a plate full of my pizza. And normally they would just give me another plate to put on top, and I would just carry it off, especially if it was during a busy time. I would carry it up to our room, and I would have like 3 slices up there, and it was amazing. If you guys are seeing the blinds behind us, it's not a ghost.
Nova's on security patrol.
Nova's just checking to make sure no pup dogs are where they should not be. Hey.
Well, now you've invited her into the stream.
Wow.
She's going to be in the stream now.
Hey. You're okay. You're okay. Oh, goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Our 130-pound pony pup.
Oh, she's behind me now, trying to get to Chris.
Hi, Wolfie. Hi, Wolfie.
Because really, he's the only person she hears about anyways.
Hi. Hello. You want to say hello to everybody?
Want to say hello?
She did not get to go on the cruise. Here. Up here. You did not get to go on the cruise because horses are not allowed on the boats.
Yeah.
No horses. No horses.
Nope.
Oh. All right, well, go lay down. Go lay down. I know, I love you too, but you need to go lay down. Oh, we've invited her into the stream. She's not leaving.
She's like, no, I'm here to stay. Oh, thank you.
We did
so
have a
much
question
for the pup
earlier.
slobber.
We did have a question earlier. I'm going to settle her back down. Maybe you can answer it. If you want to bring your own drinks on board, what are you allowed to bring as far as bottles and things like that?
So you can bring a limited number of bottles or cans of non-alcoholic beverages. So if you have a favorite soda, if you have a favorite, bottled water that you prefer to bring on your bottled water, you can do that, and it is allowed in limited quantities. We decided not to do that. So honestly, I'm going to say it's like a 6-pack per person per room, but I would have to double check that. Alcohol, you are allowed to bring 2 bottles of wine, specifically wine, or a 6-pack or 6 bottles of beer per stateroom. That is not per person, that is per stateroom, onto the ship. Any more than that, and they're going to collect them and hold them for you. Same as if you bring more onto the ship. Say when you're docked into a particular port and you find amazing wine or alcohol that you want to bring on, same thing, they're going to hold it for you and return it to you once you get back to your home port. And that is very strict. So they will allow you to bring on wine. They will allow you to bring on beer. They will not allow you to bring on any hard beverage, any flavored alcohol, any cider is not allowed. Believe me, I wish it was. That's my preference. It's not, only beer. They're pretty strict about it. So, and they check that pretty carefully. So that's one of the things the whole X-ray machine catches. So just be aware of that.
She needed to have she needed to go for a walkie.
Yeah. So Jill is asking, do they have fancy meals and you dress up? So pre-COVID, that was a very common thing. In fact, if you did not have the right clothing and it was your first cruise, you would not be allowed to go into the main dining room. They would send you to Windjammers instead if it was formal night. Post-COVID, they're way more relaxed. So I want to say they use the word sharp to dress. So that
Business casual, I saw somewhere as well.
Yes, resort casual is their day-to-day expectation, and then business casual for dinner is kind of their minimum. That being said, we dined on formal night in the main dining room, and I did dress up, and that was fun. But some of the other agents that were there and also at main dining did not dress up. Literally in shorts and like a button.
So
like
they've sort of relaxed off a little bit on the
collared
formal night.
shirt, and
Now,
they were fine.
We did a shorter cruise. Maybe they did a longer cruise that may still be in the mix,
Yeah.
but they made a point to let us know that it's to be a little bit more relaxed.
Yes.
And to be
yes,
okay.
Exactly.
So not that big of a deal.
No.
All right, so let's get into Coco Cay because
Yes.
we're running short on time. We want
Yes.
to make sure we get as much in as possible.
Yes.
Let's talk about a perfect day at Coco Cay.
So people have corrected us that it's Key, not K. We are aware of that, but Royal Caribbean refers to it specifically this way because it rhymes
with
Coco
day.
Cay, perfect day rhymes. So we hold to their pronunciation just because it is kind of cute. So let's talk about that. So we got off the boat early because we were getting a kind of behind the scenes tour of areas that normally you have to pay a premium upcharge to see, to participate in. And we just wanted to get to see all of that. So our amazing BDM gave us a tour. It was lovely.
So we did actually do some work. We actually had some
yes, we
touring
were
parts.
working. So so we did get to see everything on the island that you can possibly participate in. We got to see that.
So you guys,
That is the water park, the Thrill.
this is the Thrill Park.
Yes.
There's an additional cost to be on this area.
Yes.
We got to tour that first thing in the morning before it
If
got
it's
really
something
busy.
you're interested in, we do highly recommend you book it before you get on the ship. There is always the possibility, especially if there happen to be 2 ships in port at the same time.
It
On
could get
our
very
day,
busy.
it was not, so it wasn't as critical. But say if they have 2 ships porting at Coco Cay, which I have been told does happen on a fairly regular basis, they may run out of passes to the water park, and that would be a shame if that's something you're wanting. In addition to that, it normally costs less. Pretty much anything you might decide that you want is going to cost less if you purchase it before you get on the ship. So we did check that out. They have a wave pool. They have 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Is it 8 water slides of various and assorted?
Yes, in 2 different areas.
In 2 different areas. They have, and it's all the different kinds. So they have a couple of family ones that you can go together. They have tubes that are individuals. They have some that you use mats instead. They're kind of the race ones. And they also have some of the drop ones really fast that you don't use anything. It's just your body falling. So they have all of those available. Very fun area. I could see, especially if you had older kids, that would be a big deal.
Now, pre-purchasing your tickets for this area saved the people who got them about $30.
Yes. So if you have a family of 4, that's $120 savings. It's definitely significant. Like I said, we highly recommend that you purchase it early. If you're our client,
Now, we did get some questions. Gabriel says you wrote that, and
No.
Jennifer, just like, did you ride on that crazy
We
slide?
knew that if we were going to see everything, we were not going to be able to spend much time in any premium area if we were going to try to see everything and experience everything. So we decided to take the tour so we would know what was going on, and we figured we would save that for a trip maybe when we had the kids with us.
Yeah, and have a little bit more time
Yeah.
today. This was something in which we had to
We were
really
trying
spend
to
some extra time.
hit all of the areas.
Right. We wanted to carry ourselves into every little area we could over the island so we can get an idea of what it's like and answer your questions and be able to be more prepared of how things are going on right now.
Mm-hmm.
We even got into the Oasis. The Oasis area is at the middle of the island. It is also open to everyone on
This
the
is
ship.
included. Just in case you're concerned, if as a guest traveling with them, that if you are on if you're visiting Coco Cay, that most of the island is going to be off limits, that you're not going to have an enjoyable time. I can tell you that is not the case.
And you know what? That is actually something I was concerned about personally when I first heard about Coco Cay. I was like, well, what if I don't want to spend $100 to
Yes.
go to the water park? What am I going to do? And honestly, the thrill side of the water park is only a small
It's a
portion
small portion
a
of the
giant
island. Yes. So, so if you're going on to the island, that area that Chris just showed you the photo is this huge pool that is included. Play in that area. It has a swim up bar, and then on the other side of that bar, you can walk up and make orders. And if you have the drink package, anything you want that you might get, they can get for you.
And normally I'd have these pictures loaded into our system and I'll just put them up on the screen, but we're doing it old school right now. But
It's gorgeous. It's a gorgeous
the
area.
pool area. Now, some people may say, you know what? I don't want to get in the ocean. I just want to get in the pool. They have these lounge chairs all the way around, a gigantic pool for that. That's in the middle. The Oasis allows you to do that.
You can see those you saw those sunning areas where it's, got the sun deck where they have lounge chairs in the water in that super shallow section. They also have kids water play areas that are included. Amazing kids water playground area. They have like 2 different ones. So they have like this giant playground area that's included, and it has the very similar lounge chairs around. So if you want to stay close, they have cabanas that you can rent out that are in that area. They have cabanas also by the pool that you can also rent out. It's one of those additional extras if you want, but if not, you just grab yourself a lounge chair. There are so many lounge chairs. We had no problem getting a lounge chair.
That's what I was always. Sometimes when you go to another place where castaways go, there are times where you get there, there's no place to sit.
There's no place to go. But we did not have that issue. And then they have this pirate ship that's a water play area in addition to that. They have 2 different restaurants.
Here's another one of the thrill slides there.
Oh.
Yeah, and we'll get to your question in just a second, Debbie, as well. That is the thrill park area. You can see they do scan for tickets to get into that area.
Yeah, they do.
But
they just scan your CPAS card, and it's kind of
real quick. Debbie wants to know how far in advance should you plan to do a cruise? If you know you're going to be cruising, what's the earliest you should get ready for it?
They are already booking well into 2023. For Royal Caribbean, I say book early. Very much like Disney, if a promotion comes out after you've booked, as long as you have not paid in full, which you don't have to do that until at max 120 days before your cruise sail date, we can always modify your booking. It's something we do for our clients without asking. It's just something we do. New promotion is released, we immediately go in. We're able to just go into the system and modify it if it's available for your sailing and your travel dates and your cabin choices. We're able to just very quickly make that modification and save you money. So you're not saving any money, but you are securing the stateroom that you want. And that is the one thing that tends to go. Just like hotel rooms at Disney, there are a limited quantity of each room type, cabin type, available on any cruise ship for any sailing. So if you want that veranda and you want it on a high deck, but you want it on the port side. Yeah, you want it on the port side. You want to be able to see Castaway Cay when you get in. If you want it, or Coco Cay, or you want to be able to see, particular ports as you're sailing in or departing. Those, or you want it midship, you don't want front or back. Those kind of choice options become more limited the closer you get to your sailing. So I always say book early, just like with any other vacation package, be it Disney or Universal. The deposit is the same whether you book now for 2023 or you book 6 months ahead, 3 months, 4 months ahead. It's still going to be the same amount deposit. So why not book early? If it's something you're interested in, Debbie, just definitely let us know. We can assist you with looking at what your options are. And it also gives you plenty of options as far as different sailings too, because eventually they will book up. Definitely. So.
And right now we can book up to April of 2024.
Yes.
So if you're looking to do something, Debbie, and your anniversary for November of 2023,
we can book that for you.
We can go ahead and do that for you right now.
We can book that for you.
And have the best selection of your staterooms.
Yes.
Welcome in, Sarah. Good to see you. I hope everybody give Sarah some special.
Sarah had a hard day today.
It was a rough day. It was a rough day. So everybody give her some extra pixie dust.
We missed you, Sarah, but I know you had hard work to do.
So Coco Cay, this is where we're talking about now. We talked about the thrill park. There is the chill as well, including areas along the beaches.
They have 2 different beaches, and one of the nice things I liked about their beaches is they have some rocks built in that kind of buffer the waves. So you still get some waves in, but they're not the huge straight off the ocean waves. They're gentle. We spent some time on the beach. It's one of the things that we did. Just kind of check that out. So that is included. Your beach is included. The pool is included. The water play areas are included. Any food that's available at the main restaurants is included.
They have 2 restaurants there, or basically they are buffets.
Yes.
That are on the island. Now we only had 1 ship on the island on our day. So we only had 1 of the 2 open, but I think that was okay because we realized
there was only 1 ship there.
Yeah,
so,
but we noticed that as we did some looking around and checking on everything, they had the exact same food at both restaurants.
Yes, and honestly, it was not busy. We went to lunch at prime lunchtime, like noon 30, like the time you expect everyone's going to be going. It was very cool. Gabriel, they did an amazing job designing it.
Did you guys see the TikTok? I did a TikTok and an Instagram reel of the food that we had available on the island.
It was a huge buffet. There was so much food. Okay, this was the thing that I thought was very cool. I did not get to partake because it was not gluten-free, but they had dough made to make fresh tortillas. So like little dough balls that they were popping into a machine and rolling them out and then popping them in and cooking them right there. The
tortillas were freshly
made, and then they were dropping them right onto the buffet. Like it would be as if someone was making fresh bread and just drop. I mean, it was so fresh. And then they had all of these amazing protein options and all the toppings. The topping bar had. I stole some guacamole off of it, even though I had nothing to eat it with because it looked delicious and it was delicious. And then they had hamburgers and hot dogs and grilled meats.
And
tacos.
And barbecue.
And barbecue. They had ribs.
I had the Cuban sandwich.
Yes, they had Cuban sandwiches. They had a cheesesteak type sandwich with meat and peppers.
So good.
They had
an ice cream machine and so much fresh food. It was crazy. Yes,
tons of salad options. I had potato salad with my burger that day that they made for me on a gluten-free bun.
Sarah wants to know about the guinea pigs. Can you still do the guinea? I'm sorry, the regular pigs, not the guinea pigs. Do they still have the swimming with the piggies that you can do?
Yes, it is. It is an available option.
It's an excursion.
It is an excursion option, and it's from there. So you hop on a boat and they take you. Which I thought was fascinating.
I want to do that.
Close.
I want to do that.
Chris is like, I want to do that. I was like, let's
piggies.
see if we can get to Sandals and
let's see if we can take the kids to go swim with the piggies.
I think Liberty would love that.
We did a lot of work on this cruise, so this was not the best cruise for them to be a part of.
We didn't have a lot. Yeah, they didn't. They
this was
have
technically
much
considered to be a travel agent excursion for us.
Yes, yeah.
And so we would not have been able to bring them on a lot of the stuff we did when we were doing the travel agent stuff. So on the next cruise, we'll bring and swim with the pigs.
It was literally available, Sarah, like the day before we got on the cruise. I didn't look after that because I knew we just weren't going to have time for excursions, but I did kind of explore it just so I would know.
But
it was available.
A lot of people know about the pigs. It's swimming with the pigs.
Yep.
So we'll have to do that. We should do that for a group cruise. We all go swim.
Gabriel's like, oh, what? I'm doing it. You know?
Oh, no, seriously. They take you on a ship.
Fun.
They take you on a little boat to a private island, and there's just wild pigs running around. And they love.
I'm going to have to add that as a survey question as we're deciding which cruise we're going to do for our group cruise once we give that a go again. Because, guys, if we're doing a group cruise, we can also do a group excursion. So we could schedule, and it's just all us, and we're all going as our own special little group to do that. I think that would be a lot of fun, for sure. For sure.
I just popped in a poll.
Okay, who wants to swim with the pigs? We'll make sure that we get Coco K if we're gonna do that. So the one thing that we have
I would feel guilty though because I just had a barbecue sandwich.
I would not.
I had the pork carnitas for.
We'll
lunch.
do it in the morning, and then you don't eat your pig until after. So
I'll brush my teeth before we go swim with the pigs.
So one of the other pay extra options that we absolutely adored was they have what they refer to as the Coco Beach Club. So it is an exclusive area. It's think of it as like a VIP lounge area. You can't even get back there unless you have it on your SeaPass card and you're able. Once you enter, they actually give you a special armband. It's kind of cool because it's really nice. Like keep it and kind of use it. I could see if we took the kids to the beach club and they were staying there, that Liberty would definitely keep it. It would be like her thing and she would wear it after. So you are able to go into this location. It has its own separate pool. It is an infinity pool. So literally when you're in the water, it looks like you're in the ocean, even though it's a bit back from the beach, just the way they designed it. It's very well designed. It has its own.
I just wanted to point this out. What Bespoke Magic, even for being a taco professional, said the pork carnitas tacos.
Wow. Okay, that's high praise right there.
Yes.
I mean, I was blown away, honestly. This was not like that other island that we went to. So that's all I'm going to say. So that's the only thing I'm going to say. But as amazing as that food was, in the beach club, they have their own restaurant, and the options for dining
Much more
there.
of an upgraded options,
I was
including
shocked.
Bahamian lobster.
Yes. So you could, lobster was an option. Like you could just have lobster, or they had it as a po' boy option. They had steak. They had like a grouper, special grilled grouper, and these are included. Like if you pay for the upgrade for that area, the upgraded
Now,
dining
we're going to be
is
upfront and
also-
honest with you guys. To have access to the beach club, it is $172
Mm-hmm.
for the day we were on. The price could change depending on when you're cruising. And
Or if you
do
catch
it
a sale,
or if you do it.
yes.
So for that day, for our day, it would have been $172 to enter the exclusive beach club
Yes.
on the island.
Yes.
But that also included your upgraded menu.
Yes.
And access to the infinity pool. And you
Yes.
could also get a cabana or even a floating cabana if you'd like to have access to that. And you guys
Yes.
should have seen that on our TikTok and Instagram reels as
Yes,
well.
if not, go back and check it out. So you can either just pay for the day, and you're just they have an exclusive beach area, so not as many people on the beach, even less than what we had in the regular beach, although even that wasn't too bad. Their exclusive pool area, that
Let's go
upgraded
cruising.
dining.
Let's go.
And then they did have, if you wanted to have an even more exclusive experience, you could choose to do, they had cabanas on the beach, and then they had over the water cabanas. The beach cabanas, I want to say, hold 6 to 8. The over the water hold 8 to 10.
8 to 10.
So the
8 are
price for it,
included.
and it's like a flat fee, kind of like if you're doing a VIP tour at Disney. Like it's a flat fee, and up to 8 people are included in that, including their access to the beach club area. It's out over the water. It has its own private seating
We'll
area.
get to that in just a second, Gabriel. Go ahead.
It has its own private seating area. It has its own changing area. It has kind of like a kitchenette area where it has a bar sink. It has a fridge that they stock. And if you have like whatever your beverage package includes, you can grab from the fridge there, and it's no additional charge. So they stock it with bottled water and sodas and adult beverages and cans as well. Or you can have your private cabana attendant take care of whatever else you would like. So if you want the lobster, you just ask your awesome cabana attendant to place an order for that for you, and they will get it and they will bring it to you right there at the cabana. You don't even have to leave your
They have
cabana.
these really cool beach bikes.
It was like a giant tricycle with like a basket on the back.
And so they pick up all your food and drinks from the bar or the restaurant, and they bike it all the way out to your cabana.
Yes. And so technically it's the restaurant that is there that's included, but they did tell us, hey, if we have a guest that's at a cabana and they really want the barbecue from the main dining area, they'll go get it for them. If they really want some some carnitas and tacos and some guacamole, they will go get it for them. So super, super user friendly, very take good care of you. Obviously, you would want to tip them well, but their services themselves are not. They're included with the cabana.
So let me put this in perspective here. The floating cabanas. I'm going to give you a price that's going to flip you out. Okay, you ready for this? To get a floating cabana like we showed the day we were on the cruise, if we'd done it earlier, we may be going to get a cheaper price.
They were
Different
on
days,
sale
the
at one point. I
prices,
remember
whatever.
seeing it, yep.
Prices always vary, but the day we were there to get a floating cabana would cost you $1,800 for the day. Now, give it a second for everybody to get back off the floor. Take a breath.
Take a breath.
Breathe it in.
Take a breath.
Everybody good?
We
Stand
good?
back up.
We good?
Sit back
We
down.
good?
Everybody good. $1,800. You're like, oh my gosh, $1,800. That includes up to 8 people in that floating cabana.
Yes.
Let's break that down. Divide the cost of that cabana by 8.
Yeah.
It's $225 per person.
Yes.
Now, remember I told you to get access to the exclusive side of the island was about $172. That's about $50 more
per person.
for the floating cabana.
For your own private attendant, for your own exclusive area where no one
So
else
if
is
you're
gonna
having
be.
a big shindig and you're having all of your best buddies having the best time of their life, and
Yeah.
you want to have that bucket list item,
You're going when maybe 2 families of 4 and you're traveling together, maybe you split
put
the
it
cost.
together. And it's not nearly as bad when you split it up per person.
Yep.
And you can actually add 2 additional people to a total of 10 people to the cabana, and that could even additionally help kind of split the cost a little
Yes.
bit.
And it
If
has,
you are looking for a perfect day at Coco Cay, there's
and it
an option
has
for that.
items like included. Snorkeling gear is there for 2 people. They have floating mats if you want to float out into the water a little bit. They have a slide, and it's so cute. They have like this little bucket to wet the slide because it's not a true water slide.
It's not a water slide.
But
It's
you
just a
just
slide.
like scoop out some water in your bucket and pour it from the top to make it wet, and then you can slide down. It also had an over-the-water hammock, very secured, where you could sit right down by the water. On the edge, and and it has a sound system built into it, so you can either
Bluetooth.
choose from there. They have like
They have
5
actual
or 6
Bahamian
options.
radio stations that are built in,
Yep.
so you can play actual radio from the Bahamas, or
Or
you can bring in your own
from
music.
your say you bring your iPhone in and you have a vacation soundtrack, you can just access that via Bluetooth and play your own music.
And if you have the Voom internet that you purchased for the ship, guess what? It works on the island.
It works
as
on
well.
the island as well. We'll get to Voom in just a couple of minutes, but it also has a locker to secure all of your items together for your group. All right there.
This
close
is
by
a
if you
picture
would prefer.
of the floating cabana. That's just half of it. That's the part that's underneath the overhang. That is the seating area. It does seat quite a few people. That middle thing in the middle is that white thing is not only a coffee table, it's also a locker. So you can put your personal items in there. Behind the attendant back there is a changing area, personal private changing area. And then there's a small little kitchenette area with a refrigerator.
Yeah. It's so funny. So let me. Yeah, Bespoke Magic says if I go with 8 people, those ocean cabanas area is a dream to make happen for sure. So it includes 8, but they say that you can have up to 10. And how that works is you can purchase day passes for 2 additional people, and then they are allowed to be with you on the cabana. It's just that the price of it includes up to 8 people. So
I'm going to show the slide too. Look, everybody has their own little slide.
it's so cute. It's
What you
very
can't see in the
cute.
picture is there's a little bucket
At the bottom.
underneath that you can put it into the ocean, pull the ocean water out, put it along the slide, so you go slippy sliding.
So that is an additional option.
That's the Uber chill. That's the Uber chill.
So that is something else that you could always do as an option on a group cruise. Some of you guys could go together on a cabana if you wanted to just chill out and not do anything and just be lazy. This is the ultimate lazy beach day because literally you have a cabana attendant at your beck and call. So
All right, so we've got about 20 minutes left overall in our stream for tonight.
Okay.
So we're gonna move it on a little bit, but so Coco Cay, great food. The food is included if you
Yep.
eat there as well. The drinks are also included. They
Yes.
have the crystal light kind of drinks that we're talking about
Yes.
before, and the ice cream is available.
Yes.
They do have bars across the place. You can
They do.
you can purchase a thrill water park if you want to hit some of the water slides.
Yep.
Or you can just enjoy the indoor Oasis pool.
Yes.
The exclusive beach club, or you can hit South Beach or some of the other areas right there on the water. Beautiful areas and plenty of places. You can also rent a bed cabana that's closer to the port toward the front, where you can actually, it's a big enough, it's just this giant bed with a canopy on it. It's kind of crazy. That's kind of cool near the water as well. Now, as we were coming out, we told you earlier, Amy had sent over a PayPal to say the adult drinks is on us.
And we
for the
couldn't
island.
think of a better place than on the island, honestly, to get an adult beverage. So we went to one of the bars. They have 4 or 5 different ones scattered about, including one that's in the water. You can swim to out
Yes,
into
the
the
swim up
ocean.
bar.
But we were looking for a little more dry land type bar. So we stopped in and we asked for. They asked me what I wanted, and this is what I have tended to do lately because, every bar, every chain tends to have their own drinks. So I said, give me something fruity and with rum. Just what have you got? And she's like, oh, well, you need, I can't remember the name of it. It was like
It was the Loco Coco.
Coco Loco.
No, it wasn't. It was the Locomoto.
Locomoto or something like that. Okay, so anyways, I said, great, awesome, I'll take that. And so she pulls out a cup that was about the size of like just a basic disposable cup. I mean, smallish maybe.
Like a solo cup.
Yeah, like
a
a
red
solo cup size. It was clear, but she's like, so this will cost you $11. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. No worries. I'm thinking, and then she's like, and then she pulls a cup like this, or she points to a cup like this that was up on a shelf. She's like, or you can have that for 12. I'm like, wait, what? It's $1 more and I get that cup to take with me? She's like, yep. And I was like, and it's twice as big? Yep. I was like, I will take that. Thank you very much. So for $12, each of us got this lovely reusable cup. You can see it's very large.
And it says perfect day on Coco
Perfect
K.
day, Coco K. And I'm not going to lie. She was very generous with the alcohol.
Well,
like I was expecting it to be a lightweight thing because with other places that we're not going to talk about, that's how adult beverages tend to be. But this one was very well made. So we each got one of those. And that was fun.
So the great thing about this is after she made the actual drink, she filled up each of our cups, and then she still had enough without alcohol in it that she still ended up giving us one of those cups.
Yeah, with just like essentially
with this fruit
like a virgin
smoothie in
virgin,
it, which was really good by itself without the alcohol. But you can see there we are with our fellow client John, or not client, travel agent there, John Rogers, and we have our drink cups there and enjoyed it.
Yep, it was awesome. It was a very good deal, Gabriel. I agree, absolutely.
So we paid $1 for these.
Sarah's like it's an adult version of Pog Juice. It is kind of, yeah.
It was an upsell, and it was a very good upsell.
Yep.
They got an extra $2 out of us.
Yep. I was more than willing to pay that extra funds for sure.
Sarah says I have 3 of those that match it.
Exactly, because why not? Like every time you pay an extra $1 and you have a little cup.
So I got the orange one. I was wearing sort of a matchy kind of shirt that day, so it kind of worked out pretty well.
It did.
So that is Coco K. There is a tram that goes around the entire island, so
yep, so you don't have to walk all the way. Like it's kind of, it'll take you close.
And the other thing I was going to mention is they do have a straw market there.
Yes.
Several vendors are there on the island.
They're like local vendors that are authorized by and have gotten approved by Royal Caribbean to sell.
So you can get all kinds of t-shirts.
Super polite,
dresses,
super low
hats.
pressure, like the opposite of what you're used to in that type of situation where they're hounding you to buy things. No, we walked through almost every single one, and nobody, because I was thinking maybe I might buy a hat, and nobody pressured me in any way, shape, or form, so it was amazing.
Debbie's asking, should she research ships before she contacts us?
You don't have to do that, Debbie. We can discuss your options and let you know. And honestly, if I'm not sure, I'll research for you. There's no reason for you to do that.
The best thing
if
we
you
need to
have
know
an
is
idea,
time frame and destination
Yes.
is more important than the ship.
Yeah, exactly. Where kind of an idea of where you want to sail from, all of those things, and we can narrow down the choices for you.
So, so that was Coco K.
Yes.
Great place. And it's we had a great day. I can't wait to go back. I really want to go back and take the kids because I know they're going to enjoy it.
So Calvin had asked about the entertainment on the ship, and I am just going to say we did not get to see as much entertainment because honestly, it was just too short of a cruise. Like for us, the sweet spot is at least 4 to 5 days, maybe even a 7-day, I think would be better for us. But we did get to see one of the shows, and I had heard, like, other people will tell you, especially like our BDM, other people when we've done training, that the entertainment they have on the ships is stellar, that it is like Broadway level of expertise, and the shows and the music and the dancing and all of that is just expert level and amazing and highly entertaining. And I kind of figured they were inflating it a little bit, but the show that we went to see, I was blown away by. I loved every moment of it. It was kind of fairy tale themed, but not Disney in any way, shape, or form. It was called Once Upon a Time. And honestly, I was like, I'm not sure where this is going to go. It was a story of fairy tale
characters as presented by singing songs that had to do with the themes.
Yes, and all of the songs were modernish. By modern, I say like 80s, 90s, even some from the 50s and 60s.
There's a few 50s and 60s.
But they matched the theme.
Imagine the idea. We're starting off with Red Riding Hood.
Yes.
And the wolf comes out, and instead of having speaking parts,
He
comes
sings
out
I'm hungry like a
hungry
wolf.
like the wolf. That's what it is.
That's
Dancing
awesome.
and singing, but all the characters are introduced by songs that you recognize and hear
Yeah.
in a different way. It's almost like, in a way, watching what's those a cappella movies that are so popular that they made 45 of them about the college singing group. What is that called? We don't know.
I don't know.
But you know what I was talking about. It's sort of like
Yes.
that idea. It's like a singing competition.
Yeah, like a
come out and-
round robin.
There's no
So
narration.
They just smoothly transition
They
from
just
one
tell the story
song
by
to the
using popular
next.
songs that you know and dancing.
It was
so it's really
it
good.
was so fun. I loved every moment of it. I took quite a few vertical videos, so hopefully Chris will do a reel at some point.
Well,
that's
I
just-
have lots of content we
Yes.
still haven't shared, so
Yes.
keep an eye out for that.
So-
now, in addition to the theater, which is a huge theater, it's actually more than one level.
Huge.
They also have a skating rink.
Yes, and you can during the day go ice skating, which in and of itself is a super fun activity. I know that if the kids had been on with us, they probably would have wanted to do that. But in addition to that, in the evenings, they do a show. It's like a dance show, but on ice. Amazing costumes, same amazing music, some singers. It's awesome. So we're really excited about seeing that on a future cruise for sure. I've heard good things about the Grease show, Bespoke Magic. I have heard very good things about it. So
Now, I think we also had a question over here by, I'll go back to it real quick. Dee, do you feel like the ship was safe for you if you traveled by yourself? You spent a lot of time traveling, walking around the ship and doing things without
I did
him.
without him. I felt very safe. Like, everything that we
I can't
do,
speak
I
for her,
kind
but-
of compare to Disney, and I felt so safe. I mean, not any less safe than I felt on a Disney cruise ship. It was very well, like everything was very well managed, and we were told our ship was full. Like they were 15 people short
There
of
were-
a full ship.
Yeah, we had 4,400 people on the
Mm-hmm.
Freedom of the Seas.
Yes, and it was full, and I still didn't. It never felt crowded. So it never felt closed in. I think I would feel perfectly safe as a solo traveler, just like Disney Cruise Line. You do pay for the full cabin, a minimum of 2 people with Royal, whether or not.
Thank you, Jill. Pitch perfect.
See, and I was just watching Pitch Perfect 3 earlier today. I just was.
See, that's the
blanking
kind of
on it
stuff
in
I
the
need you to
moment.
fill in for, because I'm not going to know Pitch Perfect.
But I felt very safe. I can't
No,
even imagine.
I mean, as me for a guy being by myself, like, well, that doesn't count, But here's the thing: there are certain areas where you walk through and you're like, I feel a little nervous. I didn't feel like
I
there was
never
any
got
areas
that
like that on the
vibe.
ship.
Never.
The only
Even
time-
there were occasions we would go. The one thing was that everything tends to close down by 9 p.m. and the ship gets quiet, especially up on the high decks. So we were up. They were showing a movie. That was really the only thing going on, and we were maybe 2 of 8 people on the Lido deck at that point, and I still felt perfectly comfortable. So
And they have cameras everywhere on the
Yes.
ship, watching to make sure
and there's
everything's
crew
fine.
members about.
And
Like,
that was the other thing, Dee, is that whenever we were going up and down to the, into our staterooms,
Yeah.
they were almost always like the crew were out there working on
the
stuff
hallway.
in the hallways, and they're always
Yeah.
smiling and saying hello to you.
Our porter, or in charge of our room, we talked to him so much.
Like 4 or 5 times per day.
Yes, so we would see him coming and going, and he took special attention. So he was like, we would have whole conversations with him, but even others we would pass along the way, and they would say, "Good evening. Hope you're having a good day." I mean, if we were on our way out, have an amazing day today. Let us know.
My
if we can help
favorite
you with
interaction was
anything.
he had actually folded us a towel bat. He had made a bat out of a towel, hung it up by a clothes hanger, and put it into the middle, like from the light in the
Hanging
middle
from
of our
the
room.
ceiling,
So when you
yes.
walked into this room, there was this big towel bat, coming in. And I'd come in from that day in Nassau, and this is exactly what he said to me as I was walking into the room. Susan was by herself somewhere else on the ship. She's perfectly fine. I walk into the room, and I'm coming back out, and he looks at me, and this is a terrible representation of his accent, but imagine, I walked in and he says, "How are you doing today, boss?" That's what he says, boss. And I'm like, "I'm doing great." I think his name was Corda. I was like, "I'm doing great today. Thank you very much. The only problem is we seem to have a bat problem in the room." And he just had a big smile come across his face. I said, "If you could see if he's an okay bat, is he a fruit bat? Is he a vampire bat? I don't know. But just make sure that, are we still safe? Do they have rabies? I said, do the Bahamian bats have rabies? He's, oh, no. He says, they're all safe. I'm like, all right, good. Well, we're fine then. He was a pleasure to talk to, but there's always somebody around.
Yes.
And we always felt really safe on the show.
Yeah, really did.
Now, we had another question from here at do they still have the casinos on the cruise?
They do. They do have the casino. It's open when the ship is not in port. It has to be at sea, but it is open for the majority of the day, and even after the restaurants close. You can still go down to the casino if you would like to. So we didn't do any casinoing this time. Honestly, it was a I'm busy thing, because we did consider at one point. I mean, spending a little money there, as long as you know that you're.
And here's
one
one of the things: is on the very first day of the cruise, on the itineraries and the app, if you show up, they will give you money to use in the casino.
Yes,
it's sort of like that.
It's up to $50. It's a mystery dollar amount. We've been told it's normally about 10.
But
which is not a bad start.
If you're interested in doing that, the very first day you cruise, go in and see if you can have a little bit of plane money just to get started.
So activities we did do. We played putt-putt golf.
Yes, they have on our ship, but they had the Freedom Dunes.
Yep.
It was a nine-hole
yep.
Little course. It was really cute.
Yep. We did not get to do them, but they also have their Flow Rider, which is their surf. Which looks like so much fun for someone.
You guys know what a Flow Rider is?
So if you guys haven't seen it, we did take video of that as well, which we'll definitely be putting up. But it's like so it's like a surf, like it throws the water up, so you can surf. You can do.
Throwing some water out.
You can do boogie boards. I want to say you can even do body surfing. Like they have options for you. And they also have 2 water slides on the boat.
The perfect storm.
Which looked like a lot of fun. They also have the ice skating. They have laser tag on our boat. They had laser tag. So these were all activities you could do.
Basketball court.
Like basketball. They had pickleball if you wanted to do that. So like I said,
we missed the laser tag. How did we miss the laser tag?
I know, that's totally a Chris thing. Absolutely.
So I want to show you this real quick. It's very windy that day, but look at the Flow Rider.
So fun.
If you want to see more, you need to follow us on Instagram and TikTok so you can see more. We'll show you.
They have a rock climbing wall, so tons of activities on the ship. Like I said, a longer cruise is not going to leave you bored. There is so much to do. That is they do get the warning about
it's
that.
It's actually on the rules.
It's like a disclosure that you should maybe put on like a shirt, like
covering,
a rash
because
guard
the water comes so fast that it has removed bathing suits from people.
Yes, exactly.
That's a different type of cruise line.
I am not a water person either, Debbie, but there are a lot of activities that.
Well, I'll tell you this, Debbie. I'll tell you this: if you may not want to ride the Flow Rider,
watching
others
is
highly entertaining. Watching other people.
They actually have like stadium style seating on either side where you can just watch if you want. So.
And yes, laser tag. And when you guys go, let us go with you because I want to see Gabe on that boogie board.
That would be hilarious. So in addition to that, they also have fun activities that don't involve like any sort of physical exertion at all. So they have bingo. They have
cash bingo.
Cash. You can win cash. You buy a bingo card for a very small amount of money, and then you can win a cash prize. They have trivia.
Mm-hmm. Lots of different trivia.
Lots of different
kind of games.
They have karaoke. They have dance parties pretty much every night, and they have different themes every night.
They have different scene. They have like a going. I'm trying to. What's the phrase that they said? It's like a singles meet on one night. If you guys want, if you're on the cruise by yourself and you want to see if you can find someone to spend time with or meet or something like that, they have little things all throughout that you can find on the app. Add it to your calendar and go check it out.
And then go check it out. And now you're probably thinking, well, a lot of these sound kind of adult. What on earth would my kids do? Let me tell you, their kids' areas awesome. Now, I am comparing them to Disney, and if I was comparing them directly to Disney, they're not Disney characters coming in. You know, they don't have Disney-themed areas. They do have play areas that are very similar in theming. So they have an art area. They have, you know, a quiet spot where this is right now thinking of like the 9 to 12-year-olds. It was 9 to 12, 6 to 12, kind of that middle age. They have a kind of a quiet area where you can sit and watch TV and movies. They have an area with the video games and just
have an arcade.
different TVs. They have an arcade. They have a big kind of space where they can play games with the kids and they can run around and be rowdy. And this is included. This is included in the cost of your cruise. They just opened it back up for freely registering and dropping your kids off. It does vary from cruise ship to cruise ship how they handle it. Some of them they want you to sign up for a time ahead of time. Some of them they're just freely open until they reach capacity, and so you just want to be there early as soon as they open to drop your child off so that they can definitely get a space in. But it's super easy. They have they also have so they have it separated out. Younger kids like that 4 to, I want to say 4 to 8 are in one section, and then 9 to 12 in the other larger section. They do have a toddler section as well for ages 6 months to 3, I think.
Okay.
And that area is a pay extra area. You do pay extra. And it's by the hour. You can you make a reservation for a time, you sign up for a time. But this is really nice if you're traveling with a younger child and say you want to have dinner quietly.
You want to go to Chops?
Yeah, you want to go to Chops or Zoomy. You can drop your child off there, so that is included. Or not included. It's additional fee for infants, but all of the other kids are included. They also have a teen area, and once you reach a teen area, they can come and go as they please. It's from 13 to 17, and a super fun area. We walked through it during the while we were live streaming. During the open house that they have at the beginning of every cruise. And it's a super cute area. It's not a very large area, but they actually plan activities that take the kids in groups that they should choose to hang out together out of the area if they would like to. So they'll take them all up to the flow rider, and they have like a set time where only their group gets to go up to the flow rider. So they'll take them all up together.
That is kind of cool. They have their own little time and designated spaces
or
to do that.
Maybe to the rock wall where it's just the kids from the club that get.
Thank you,
to
Captain Good Guy.
participate.
Captain Good Guy hit the number one. We hit the 100 like tonight.
Hey, thank you so much.
Appreciate that. Were you wearing the hat when you hit it?
They have, they'll send them on scavenger hunts, like selfie scavenger hunts. So they have lots of fun activities planned for them. So, and which is very similar to Disney's. Honestly, that's how their teen area works as well. So.
We're kind of wrapping things up tonight. Thank you guys for hitting the like button.
Yes,
We're up
thank
to
you so
100.
much.
That makes a huge difference if we can at least hit 100 every time we go live streaming to make sure that YouTube continues to help us out. And we are growing as far as our community. So thank you guys for making that possible and for being such an amazing community to want to be a part of. Now, we had some adventures on Nassau. I'm going to quickly go over those.
Yeah, really quick.
Real quick. Just some important things to keep up in mind. One, they are building and redoing the port dock at Nassau.
It's going to be gorgeous when it's done.
Yeah, and it's not going to be completed until 2023, I believe.
Yes.
But it's going to be really great. But right now they got a lot of construction going on there.
That being said, it didn't make it hard.
No,
to
it didn't
get
take away
order off
from
the
it.
ship
It just
at all.
it was just something to keep in mind. Carnival Cruise with the Carnival
Was docked
Conquest
at the same time
was
as we were.
there as well. We had no problems getting off into Nassau.
Nope, super easy.
And we had
Easier than I remember it being.
Yeah, it was really easy to get back in as well. Gabriel asked a question earlier. What do you do if you miss your ship? You get a free vacation in Nassau.
Your ship. Don't miss your ship.
And if you didn't bring your passport, that's really bad.
Not good.
And they're still rebuilding the American Embassy, by the way. They're redoing a new building as well.
Yeah.
So you get to visit the American Embassy. No, you don't want to do that. So when they say
don't do
4:30, you pull up, you need to be back at 4 o'clock and be ready to go.
One of the best things you can do is to book an excursion with Royal Caribbean, because if you're booking one of their excursions and for some reason that excursion runs behind in getting you back to the ship,
Good night.
they're not going to leave you. So they're going to wait. You can go off on your own, and we did go off on our own.
Yeah, we did not do an excursion
fine.
with Royal Caribbean.
Yeah, we did our own thing, and we were fine.
Thank you, Cole. We had a great time, and we're going to tell you guys more about that, and you'll see some stuff on our Instagram and TikTok about that here very soon.
Yeah, absolutely.
But yeah, you don't want to miss it. So get there on there and do what you need to do to take care of yourself.
If you plan a morning excursion.
So when you do leave the ship, make sure you bring your ID. Make sure you bring
your CPass.
And your CPass.
They will not let you back on the boat.
If you have a passport, make sure you have your passport. And don't do it like I did. Make sure, because you're so used to not having to carry your wallet around, make sure you have a way to pay for stuff.
Yes, yes.
I didn't bring my debit card.
Yeah, he totally forgot.
We got around that though. That's a story for later. But what we did is we have someone from Instagram reach out to us who works at the Grey Cliff. Cole is an amazing young man, and he invited us to come over and he gave us a tour.
Yep, personal tour.
Of the winery,
so fun.
The chocolatier area, and the cigar shop. We'll have TikToks and some stuff up to show you guys some of those things as well. And then we got an opportunity to meet his mom and have lunch with him over at the Green Parrot, where we tried the Bahamas Goombay Punch, which is exclusively made and canned in the Bahamas.
Yes, by
really
Coca-Cola.
sweet. If you guys saw the TikTok, you saw it already. But it's if you guys missed any of this and you don't follow us on other accounts, go check it out and watch them.
For sure.
But you can't get it. Everybody's like, you should have gotten several cans and brought it back. You should.
Sarah Bush says fanny packs save lives. Just saying. I have my little one like over the shoulder half pack, and I did have like that. I love that too. So yeah, a little bag is always good.
It's good to have something to carry around and make sure you have everything. Welcome in, Luis. Good to see you tonight. And everyone else just popping in, kind of wrapping up what we're talking about. But we'll talk. We'll have some more information and content coming out when it comes to Nassau. But it's beautiful. There's lots of things you can do there, including some of the local places. You can go to the fish fry. You can go to Atlantis. You can get all kinds of things on the Pleasure Island kind of areas, and lots of excursions. Just make sure, get back on time, take what you need when you go, and just be prepared to make sure you know exactly where you're going to go and how you're going to do it.
Bespoke Magic said she spent 2 hours after breakfast in Nassau just visiting all the jewelry shops. There were so many shops, and we were really tempted, but we had a specific agenda. We definitely wanted to visit Grey Cliff. So, and by the time we were done with our amazing lunch, and we got like a little bit of a tour around the island.
We got a great drive around.
So by the time we were done, it was just time to get back on the ship because we were meeting with someone on the ship. That afternoon.
We had other things we had to do. So Nassau was fun. Had a lot of great times with that. A couple other topics we wanted to bring up. Internet.
So
boom.
So we were prepared because of other cruise experiences. So we're not going to mention my name.
Thanks,
for a limited amount of internet. We figured we would just have to collect a ton of content and share with you after the fact. And then we found out that Royal Caribbean has.
Good night, Mike. Thank you so much for all you do.
Unlimited, like whatever package you choose for them. If you choose internet, they have they call it Voom, VOOM, and it is unlimited. So if you have it, you have it. It's not like you have a limited amount of data, and once you run through it, it's gone. You just have data. An unlimited amount of data at a particular speed. Now we chose to upgrade. They have two kinds. They have Voom and they have Voom Plus Stream is what they call it. Now they will say it's in case you want to watch your favorite, Netflix or Disney Plus or whatever, and you can stream it right there and the speed is amazing. We got it because we wanted to stream to you.
And we did. We got to do 2 YouTube lives and a couple of Instagram lives.
Yes.
And I don't know, you guys tell me, did they look okay?
We were not
did
sure
well?
if that would be possible. Yes, let us know in the comments if you watched those, what you thought
because
of the quality.
We were
afraid we would not be able to maintain a connection at all.
We could not do that on
and we were
ships.
prepared for that we would just have to cut it short and then and not be able to do that. But I was very impressed with the speed. And honestly, I can't think of a space in the ship that we did not have decent service.
At least it was always connected. Sometimes it was a little
slower, say in our stateroom, for example, because you're in a little tiny metal tin can, metal all around you. But even then, it's still connected and it's still,
Sarah says video kept pausing every now and again, but the connection held up much better than mine when I was there.
Well, and
Vicky
we,
says
like
that
I
the
said,
stream
we did
looked
upgrade.
Good. It did very well.
Yes,
So
we were impressed.
for the cost, what it cost
It's
me
not
to have that
bad.
connection, especially for allowing us to bring you along with us on our cruise.
It was more than worth the
It was worth
cost.
it.
And it honestly was comparable to what we paid on Disney. So,
On Disney, I ran out of internet by the second day.
yeah, I agree, Dee. We did not like
I
the
ran out of internet by the
choices
second
there.
day. I had to log out every time,
It's
or it
not
would
made
suck
for
the
us,
energy
for
out.
sure.
You could not stream.
Yeah, definitely no streaming.
So
would
if we ever
happen.
go on a Disney cruise and it's a week-long thing, you guys won't hear from us for a
Yeah,
while.
that would be so, oh man,
But
that's
in Royal
a sad
Caribbean,
thought.
we just kept going
Yep,
as
all
much as we
day.
wanted to. It was really great.
For sure.
Um,
In addition to that, okay, so that's the internet. It's amazing. You should get it. It's worth the cost. So if you want to stay connected, I mean, maybe you want to unplug and so you don't feel the need.
so get this, Travel Adventures that Aaron says, can you use your laptop with Vroom?
Yes, you can. So here's how their pricing works. So it's by device that you have on it at a time. So we paid for one device.
One device.
Voom plus Stream, and we would link one device to it at a time. So if you tried to link a second device, it would say that you will reach your max amount, and you could either pay to upgrade at that point, or you could log off the other. Like it would kick off whatever was currently whatever.
I would
was
log out
going
of
on.
my phone. Susan would log into her phone, and she could do all of her stuff.
Or we would log off both our phones and hop onto the laptop, and we did actually do that a couple of times because we had some items to take care of for clients while we were on the ship.
I was booking travel. I was booking travel for our travel clients on Saturday.
Yes.
So after we did our tour of Coco Cay, we came back to the ship, and I actually booked two trips, 2 vacations, and secured those while we were on the ship using the Voom with my laptop.
Yeah.
Disconnected, and we went back out on the Coco Cay, and I was back on my phone.
And that is
everything
the
else.
other thing to point out, that is if you get off onto Coco Cay, whatever internet package you have on the ship is good on the island, and they have internet on the island. So, and we were able to maintain it in several different locations. Like I never saw a spot where we had no internet. So just keep that in mind. It was good. It was good internet even on the island. So yes, I agree, Jill. It was
Can you
fantastic.
imagine if we do a group cruise and we get our floating cabin, we just put everybody out there on the floating cabana. We just turn on the Instagram and let everybody else kind of hang out with us on Instagram or on YouTube. That would be kind of cool.
A Travel Adventures with Erin says she likes using her laptop more than her phone or iPad.
And we
I
did.
totally
We
get
actually
that.
did use
We
that.
did. Several times we checked email. We did correspondence with clients. We booked some things. We made some payments.
This
for
was a
clients.
work cruise. I did
Yeah.
quite a bit of work and
We're
all that
working.
kind of stuff. And you can do that if you need to make sure
Yep.
that that's
You
the
absolutely
balance.
can.
So now we're at the end of our cruise.
Yes.
And it's now time to get off the ship.
Yes. That was sad.
It's tragical.
It was too short. Like I said, it was too short. But that was what we were booked on at that point in time. So it was short and we were sad it was over. But let's talk about the disembarkation.
There are a couple of
process.
things you need to take care of. First of all, you can do like us at the beginning. We did actually pay for all of our taxes and tips
Yes.
prior to the cruise. There's a way you can.
Honestly, I recommend that because then you don't have to
worry
kind of
about
like buying the dining plan and you know exactly what you're going to pay at a time. Just go ahead and pay it. And honestly, it's such a low amount per person per day. Oh yeah, iguana. No iguana came with us. What are you talking about, Sarah? No iguana? No. No, surely not.
Back in your room.
Go away.
Take the iguana with you.
Yeah.
But
I mean,
pay it ahead of time.
Pay
So
it
you don't have
ahead
to
of
worry
time.
about it. And then if you feel the need to give an additional tip for outstanding service, you can do
which
so.
there were several occasions, several different people that were like, yeah.
I actually did give an additional tip to our porter. He was
Yeah.
an amazing man. He took good care of us.
such
He
a
was
good job.
such a great personality, and he was a lot of fun to meet.
Yes. So
every time we saw him, he
you
made
can
me
go ahead and
smile.
do that, and they do provide envelopes for you to
So
do that
yeah,
if you need
you
to.
can just put the extra money, leave
Yeah,
it in your
you tell
cabin,
it
and
who
they'll take
it's
care
for,
of it.
and and they'll take care of that.
So make sure you do that before you leave. You can take care of that.
Mm-hmm.
Second, make sure you leave all your towels. If you have any towels that you checked out while you're on the
Do
cruise,
not try to take towels home with you. They will charge you.
this is not the Motel 6 people.
They will charge you.
They will charge you $25 per towel.
They know
if you
exactly
check it
how
out.
many towels you have.
Yeah, so if you give them your card to get a towel checked out and you don't give it back to them and they don't register that you on your SeaPass gave your towel back, they can charge you $25 per towel.
Yes.
This is not a chance to put more towels in your closet.
Yes.
So just picture the towels, you give your towels back.
Just like with other cruise lines, you can choose to kind of pass off your luggage the night before and then pick it up so you don't have to deal with it until you get off the ship. We chose not to do that this time based on previous experiences. We thought we're just going to keep our luggage with us.
We have a small enough luggage that we can handle our luggage and carry it with us. So
we'll just keep it with us.
That morning we had our bags packed. But if you do want to give your bags, you can actually the night before they give you the luggage tags.
Yep, you put it on, kind of a reverse of getting on the ship. You set it outside your
hallway,
door, which is where
this-
they deposit it when they leave it, and then they will pick it back up and carry it off for you, and hold it until you get off the ship. We did not do that this time. We'll get back to that as we're talking about getting off the ship. We chose not to do that. They opened breakfast on that final day early. It was open at 6 a.m. and I did drag Chris out of bed early, and we were there not at 6 a.m. but like 6:15. We were in having breakfast. We left our bags in our room because we didn't have to be out of our cabin until 8. So we went ahead and left our bags in our room and went ahead and went down to Windjammers for breakfast, got a final breakfast, and got to watch the ship sail in
to the port of Miami.
And
so
port.
when you're coming in, depending on which way they bring the ship in, you should ask the crew, which side will I be able to see the port? And if you sit right there by the window, farthest up from the entrance to Windjammers, we got to sit, and you guys got to see, if again, another TikTok that we put up there and another Instagram reel. We got to watch the entire time we came
and it was
into
fun.
port.
It was very enjoyable, relaxing breakfast, and then we went down, finished getting ready, grabbed our bags. They were allowing you to get off. I want to say the earliest you could get off the ship was 6:45, but we left our room I think at 8 a.m. It was a quick and easy off the ship. So easy, honestly.
Because we didn't have to worry about going to get our bags or waiting for them. Because here's the thing, if you do want to give them your bags, you have to, once you leave your stateroom.
They assign you a specific location to wait.
And then you have to wait for them to call you.
And
that your bag
they
is
let
ready.
you know that your bags are off the ship. And they brought them out in sections. And we're going to talk about that as we get off the ship. Because that was our thing when we got off the Disney ship. The bags were like, there were so many suitcases. I mean, honestly, there were thousands of suitcases and you had to find yours, and they told you where they were going to be, but they were there were so many and you were trying to find your bags.
This is a good question. I'm going to answer this even though it doesn't have to do specifically with exiting. Calvin wanted to know, would you say this is the demographics of a typical Royal Caribbean cruise? Now, back in the day, back last year and last fall, we heard of several people who were actually on our cruise this time who said that they had previously cruised last fall, and of the ship, they only had, I think one said they had like 1,200 to 1,400 people on the cruise, so it was a lot smaller, about 20 to 25% capacity.
Yeah.
This cruise ship holds about 4,500, and there were about 4,400 people on the ship. This was a full ship.
Yes.
So we're not talking post-pandemic. This is not the norm. You guys had it easy because there weren't that many people on there. This ship was full. So what we saw, I was considered to be is what you would expect when it's not like they're going to be putting 6,000 people on a 4,500 capacity ship. So
honestly, the current demographic post-COVID is a little different than what I would say it was pre-COVID, and that is because of the limitations the CDC has put in place for them to be able to freely cruise. They have to have 95% vaccinated guests, and that means that there are fewer children on because they do not require vaccination for kids 12 and under with Royal Caribbean. Something to keep in mind. Other cruise lines, including Disney Cruise Line, include anyone who could get a vaccination to have a vaccination. They don't have any exceptions in place. Whereas Royal Caribbean, they hold for the most part though that 5% for children who are under the age of 12. But but even taking that into consideration, 5% of 4,500 is a very small number. So there's a much smaller number of children currently sailing than I would say in the past. I would consider it
we
very
didn't see a lot of kids on this cruise.
very much a family cruise option, for sure. And I would say that if you want to cruise with your kids, I would definitely cruise on this cruise line, even with younger children. I think it's very family friendly. They definitely have adult activities as well. I would say compared to, say, for example, Princess, which I think of more for, like, that would be a sailing that a grandma or grandpa might be more comfortable on. That is more of their demographic, is the older, retired.
More laid back.
Yes.
Less party.
Less party, more traditional cruise. A Royal Caribbean's kind of a balance between that and maybe a cruise line that's maybe a party cruise, I would say. So, that would be my take on it, Calvin. I mean, it's definitely family friendly.
Jill asked a question: do they offer any freebies or perks for repeat Royal Caribbean cruises?
You do get perks and freebies. It varies with the level, and
when you make it the Diamond, you get your own lounge.
Yeah, there's a lounge for Diamond.
We do have one of our clients who just reached the Diamond status.
Double Diamond, or
no, he just reached his first Diamond, so he's really excited to be able to get on his next cruise because he gets to go inside the Diamond lounge. Special lounge just for those cruisers. So
yes,
there are some perks.
You
and
get
some
to
things.
board earlier, depending. You get to book your
You have your special place to
excursions.
pick up your luggage too.
Similar, yeah, it's very similar to other cruise lines, where the higher you get in their program, the more perks you get. So.
So we get to the point where we had breakfast at Windjammers. It was at 6 a.m. I came back to the room. I showered. I got changed. We grabbed our bags. We went up to the top deck to get one last look at the pool deck. And then at around 8 o'clock or so, we made our way down to the deck. We waited about maybe 10 minutes to get scanned off the ship. We rode in an elevator to pick up where the baggage area is. Of course, we had our bags with us. They didn't have that many bags out there because at that point, those people who, was that point to pick up.
Yes.
Hadn't been called yet, so it wasn't that crowded. I remember on other cruises that there was just that long wait after getting either pick up of your bags or going through immigration. Immigration was super smooth.
Yeah.
And we talk about how easy it was to get on the ship.
Smooth. Just as easy to get off.
Just as easy to get off. Now, I will tell you this. I don't have a passport. I know, that's wrong.
It just timing wise, whenever we were going to travel, we hadn't
My
gotten it, and we
expired.
were afraid it wouldn't be done yet, so we just kind of
passport
waited.
expired, so we just didn't get around to it because we knew passports are
I
kind
do
of a
have
thing
one,
right now.
though. Yeah.
I will be getting one now, but if we had had a passport, we'd have been gone through even faster because at a scanner, boom, people were flying through passports.
Yes.
We had to present birth certificates and things like that.
It still took us
Still nothing.
no time at all, and then
And they didn't ask about the iguana.
Yeah.
So getting off the ship, super duper easy, and at 8:30 or so, we were back in our car. We paid for our parking we parked right there at the terminal.
Yeah.
We paid $28 per day to park in the Royal Caribbean parking lot. We were on the road.
Yes.
It was way too easy to get off. I wanted it to take longer. But we had getting off the ship was really easy, and but we had a great time. Real quick, I'm just going to throw something at you. What was, and she doesn't know I'm going to ask this, so this is completely off the cuff. What was the best thing about the cruise, and what was the thing that you wish could have been done a little better?
Gosh, it's hard to pick one thing that I love the best, because I really did overall have just an amazing experience. I love the entertainment, and I love the island. To me, the island felt very modern, if that makes sense. Like, all the modern things that I might feel that I needed were very convenient and close by, including, say, the internet, for example, and the food. Just everything was very well done there. Probably the one thing they could have improved a little bit was being gluten-free. I definitely felt safe with everything they ate. They had a few little bumps in the road in getting me what I needed a couple of times, And they were always on it to get it fixed, but it wasn't quite as smooth as other experiences that I've had.
She did have a few challenges when it comes to dining on.
I did, but I feel like that was like I was just the basic dining. I think if I had been at one of the restaurants, I probably would have had just over the top stellar experience. So,
All right. For me, the best experience. I really enjoyed Coco Cay. The Perfect Day at Coco Cay, I thought was a lot of fun, and I got to. I was really looking forward to Coco Cay. So the next time we go, we did a lot of work. We did a lot of stuff for work.
I would very much like to take
If you guys are watching for the
family
first time, you're like, what are you
vacation.
talking about work? We are travel agents.
Yes.
So there was a part of this cruise that was very much of learning, watching,
Yes.
documenting,
Very
asking
much
questions,
so, yes.
standing and watching how things were done with other people.
Yes.
It's very important for me to see that stuff firsthand.
Yeah.
And so there was still a part of me that I had to turn off the vacation side to enjoy the to get some work done.
Yeah.
But I think overall it was an amazing time.
Yes.
But I think I can't wait to go back and just one of these trips and just turn off. If I can ever, I don't know.
Just have
I don't know if I
a
can ever turn it
vacation.
off. You guys know me. I'm
But
never
like not such a heavy like studying it for the purposes of being
of
a travel agent.
finding. I would love to
and-
rent one of those cabana beds.
Yes.
Those gigantic beds. It's big enough for like 6 people to lay on.
Yeah.
With a canopy on it and just lay on the beach.
Yes, that would be amazing.
But
Yeah.
Coco Cay, I'm so glad I finally got to go to Coco Cay. What experience did I not find as entertaining or
Yes.
experience I didn't like as much?
Yeah.
I was sorely disappointed in the fact that I'm ready to party, I'm ready to have fun on this cruise, and then somehow at 9 o'clock,
It was like Universal. Like Universal, everything
It-
kind of shuts
yeah.
down early. It was very
I'm like,
much
I'm
like
on
that.
vacation. I'm on vacation. I want to vacate. And all of a sudden I'm turning around and this is closed. And the pool's closed. And you can't get in the hot tub. And the ice cream machine's closed. And I'm like, it's 9:30 at night. I'm still vacationing, but everything's closing down. So I don't know if that's normal or if it's going to get better, but
Or if we were missing something.
when Royal Caribbean gets my survey, my biggest thing is that at 10 o'clock at night, I want to go get an ice cream cone and go sit in the hot tub and watch a movie
There you go.
at 10 o'clock at night. And then when I'm done with my ice cream, I want to go to a place and get a plate of chicken fingers and some ranch dressing and go back to my room where my wife has already gotten her gluten-free pizza.
Now, that being said, room service is available 24 hours a day, and they do have late night snacks available. So, and that is included. There is a fee for delivery to your room. If you order anything other than their basic breakfast, that's free of charge, and there's no additional fee. But you can order room service if you wanted to at 11 o'clock at night.
Yes.
And get those chicken fingers if you were wanting those.
Some chicken fingers.
Chicken
Now,
fingers.
Sorrento's is open till 2 a.m.
Yes, it is. And in addition to pizza, they have how would you like
salads.
composed salads. So not like a lettuce salad. They had like a tomato and mozzarella with fresh basil. They had grilled vegetables one day. They had
Tomato, mozzarella. They had what did I have? Oh,
the eggs.
I had
boiled eggs with.
I had a boiled egg with a sardine on it.
I probably would have said, "Can I have some without the sardine?"
And
And then they
should I
had
share
all
that
kinds of
TikTok?
fun desserts.
Should I share that TikTok?
Probably not. He did not like it.
Let me ask everybody
I
in
just
the
thought
chat.
it was funny
Let me
because
ask
he knew
everybody in the
exactly
chat.
what he was ordering, and he.
Yeah, I knew what I was ordering. I wanted to try it. Let me know in the chat if you guys want me to post. I have lots of videos that I've never been seen yet from this cruise.
A lot of content.
Tell me if you guys would like to see me trying the sardine. Maybe I can get that. I'll get that one up for you guys. Bespoke Magic, thank you so much. I hope that when we do travel, I hope you guys realize we do have fun.
Yes.
But it's for the point of gathering information. And the thing is as we grow as a community, as we get bigger as a YouTube channel, as we have more people in the Magic Crew, our goal is to get bigger so that we can do bigger things, so we can share those bigger things with you.
Yes.
And it's our point and our focus is to make sure that whatever we do, we can make it available to you guys as well.
Yes, we want to
it's
help
very
you
important
guys
for
out.
us.
Jill is off to bed. Thank you so much, Jill, for modding. Double duty modding today. We appreciate that. You go get some rest. We appreciate you being on.
So we're going to wrap up tonight.
On
We're going to wrap up tonight's stream and talking about if you have questions, if you have further things that you want to know about Royal Caribbean, I want you guys to know that we are available and we'll be glad to answer those questions for you. You can do one of two things. If you have more questions, if you're watching this live or if you're watching this in replay right now, this will be up and available for anybody to go back and watch it and use as a reference.
Yeah.
If you have questions on the replay after it's not live, still ask the questions. I go through and I have a way in which I check to see every comment people leave me on a replay, whether or not it was watched or presented a year ago or yesterday. So if you have a question, let us know. Or if you want to reach out to us, you can also always send us an email, and you guys know this.
Yeah.
Send us an email over at Travelmation. We'd love to have you guys answer some questions as far as that goes as well.
If you're looking to book, you say this all sounds amazing. Maybe I want to explore my options. We are happy to assist you with that. They do have an amazing sale going on right now. It is a sale that they do every year. It is their best pricing. We highly recommend booking during their WOW sale. They call it the WOW sale because you're like, wow, that's a great deal. And they do have that going on right now. It is, generally speaking, I mean, it varies the exact amount of onboard credit that you get. But so if they all include a non-refundable deposit, but then you get 30% off the second guest. I think 30% off all
No, it's 30%
adults,
off all adults.
all adults, and then kids 12 and under sale free. So, so if you have, say, a family of 4 and your 2 kids are 12 and under, the adults are 30% off. The kids you don't pay for at all. You normally there's a certain amount of onboard credit that's offered, and then also a discount. And that level varies depending on what room category you get, but and how many days you're sailing. But it's an amazing sale. It's a really good deal. And we recommend that if you are going to book, this is a great time to do it. So if we can assist you with that, definitely let us know.
Matter of fact, I was going to sit there and let you guys know. I know this just got over to us earlier today as a reminder. And where did it go? Here we go.
It was up to $550 off. And that, like I said, depends on what room category and how long your sailing date. 30% off every guest. And then also kids sail free. So it's an amazing deal. And there are only 3 days left to book that particular sale. So if that's something you're interested in, definitely let us know.
We have all kinds of deals that will be coming up. If you guys ever want to find out what those deals are, let us know. Again, we have 3 days left for that one. Up to $550 off cruise, 30% off all guests, and the kids under a certain age do sail for free. If you ever have a question or would like to have a quote, let us know. And we are also, I wanted to let you guys know that we are still very serious about the idea of having a group cruise from Ear to Ear Magic.
Absolutely.
So
we
what
would
better way
like
to go
you
on
guys
a first
to come
cruise?
sail with us. Yes.
Let's go sail away together. That way you have somebody on the ship with you. And who other as a travel agent would be able to offer to go on the cruise with you to go, you know what, if you have questions, come see me. So we would love to set that up. We tried at the beginning of the year to do that, and unfortunately we had a little bit of the pandemic kind of shoot back out.
Resurged and kind of like.
So we kind of let that one go to the side because we didn't know how things were going to go.
Yeah.
So we would like to do this again, and we would love for you guys to join us. So as we get more information about that, we'll let you guys know. But if you want to go on an individual cruise for Royal Caribbean, we would be glad to help you guys do that.
We would be happy to assist you. It's the same cost to book with us as it is to book direct. So why not support our family and our small business? We would love it if you felt comfortable doing with that and just gave us an opportunity to book that for you.
So just to kind of give you guys an idea from right now, if you were to go on a 3-night this is what we did. Bahamas and Perfect Day Cruise. Leaving from Port Canaveral on board the Independence of the Seas. Prices are starting at about $180 per adult. So
Very reasonable. Per day. That is a per day cost.
Yes.
So, yeah.
And that's for the interior. And you can go up to a balcony, which is what we had, an outdoor veranda at about $300 per person per day.
Yep.
So
very reasonable. And your kids, if they're 12 and under, are free. So, yeah.
Something to think of.
Yes.
Well, thank you guys so much for hanging out with us tonight. It has been always a pleasure to spend the company of time with the company here in the Magic Crew. If you have questions, Debbie wants to know, hang on, let me go back to the question real quick. Debbie says, do they usually have a sale about this time every year?
They do. About this time every year, they do run a sale. It's normally around this time. COVID has kind of thrown off everyone's normal patterns, so it's a little more difficult to predict, but they normally do a WOW sale every year. It's definitely great pricing. As we did mention, if for some reason someone books with us and there's not a promotion currently available for the sailing they want, and one comes out after the fact, as long as they haven't paid in full, we can always modify their booking to take advantage of those savings.
And they often have sales when it comes to not the excursions, but like the drink packages for Voom and stuff like that.
Yep.
So if you're booking with us, and we have something like that pop up.
My absolute favorite thing is that at Christmas time, they do like amazing deals on their packages. And I think there's a couple of other times during the year, but they will drop the pricing, kind of like a Black Friday sale. But for your excursions and just add-ons, and the deals are crazy, like 40-50% off. So, but yeah, it's a lot of fun. Those are available at any point in time. As far as add-ons that are not excursions, you can purchase them even if you haven't paid in full yet. So.
And then let's see if there's any quick. Jill says, do you also work with U.S. River cruise companies?
Yes, we do have several vendors that, yes, we do work with several of them. So if that's something you're interested in, let us know, and we can definitely get pricing for you.
Any other questions that you guys may have? And like I said, if you come up with something, feel free to leave us a comment on tonight's replay, or you can always come back and shoot us an email over at the addresses.
Send us an email,
we have
definitely. If you have questions, questions about booking or pricing or anything like that, we are happy. Calvin wants to know what your stream plans are for tomorrow.
We are hopefully going to be going over to Universal.
We'll see.
Is it Friday already?
It is Friday.
Oh my goodness, guys. What happened to the week? Well, it seems like we had a very busy weekend for Royal Caribbean over the weekend.
Yeah.
We've had some amazing streams that you guys have really just blown me away. Today, I kept looking back at the time going, I think we just started. I don't feel like we should stop yet. But I had a really good time.
It was hard to go. Like everyone was.
I was ready to go do some more things, but I
in.
knew we had to get back and get ready to do this tonight. But tomorrow we're going to be heading over to Universal Studios. Who knows what we might find out brand new opening up tomorrow. We'll see what happens. And then Saturday, we are looking to go back over to Magic Kingdom. Sunday, back over at Epcot. Who knows if we can get on Guardians of the Galaxy. And Monday for Memorial Day, we'll be back over on Magic Kingdom as well.
Yes.
So, you guys, thank you so much for hanging out with us. Thank you for being such an amazing crew overall. And you guys know that when you have travel questions, when you have somebody that you want to kind of hear some stuff from, we would love it when it comes to the idea that you reach out to us and let us know if we can help you answer those questions. We want to be your go-to person when it comes to your travel questions and your itineraries. So thank you for giving us that opportunity. It makes a huge, it's like a compliment. And it's an honor to be able to have that when you guys do that. So
yes, we really appreciate that. Anytime someone puts that trust in us to give us the opportunity to take care of their travel.
So guys, it has been a pleasure tonight. I hope that you guys have a wonderful evening. And tomorrow we're going to be back at it again. So I'll be working on that right now to get ready for tomorrow's stream. So you guys have a great night. And we can't wait to cruise with you guys. But tomorrow we can't wait to see you guys back in the park. So everybody have a wonderful night. And we'll see you guys real soon. Thanks, everyone.